right. Sorry, I'm ruining this. I'm ruining this.
Yeah. There's some. Have you started dying or?
David, go. Now. David, go. And are you good to go as well, Shibby?
Yeah. So.
Okay, cool. Go, guys. Go.
Need
to get this right. Have they gone?
By the look of it, it's well, we're at the start, but I think Diane's gone.
Yep, it looks like they are. I hope someone's here for commentary.
No, okay, they're gone.
I could, considering I'm probably not going to get to play for another 10 minutes.
Yeah, you can just go through this starting stuff. That's fine. Go for it, sir. I'll jump out of chat then, and I'll leave you guys to it. Thank you very much. Best of luck to David and to Dine. Good luck, good luck, good luck.
Yep, good luck to both of you as well. And Rex.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck, guys.
This is a tiny tale of time. I was gonna say the names need to be changed. Alright, so first things first, talk to Bosch, have the meeting with Zeno, then they can go to the shop.
Oh, there's no sound.
So we pretty much have to go to Low Sector Borough, the shop, because there's basically no way to play otherwise, because we need bait and we need bombs. So we're going to sell the tonic and the save token if you feel like it, and buying a stack of meat and some bombs. David's buying some extra meat for safety. So now we're going to venture out to the lift, but since the lift is down, they have to go by foot. The train's not working, I guess. So they have to take the trains by foot, the tracks. They're going to grab some meat here at the start for extra safety, because you never know when something's going to go wrong. Diane's gonna throw some meat. You can get through there without meat, but he's just being extra safe, and I don't blame him. You basically can't get through there without throwing meat in that center area. They both have the same rune pattern. There are two possible rune patterns for most of the runes in the game. Enemies can still be quite unpredictable, however, but if you have enough experience, you can kind of figure out what they're gonna do. The item boxes are also randomized. They also have two different sets that they can be. So, they'll always contain a certain set amount of items, so you can go for certain boxes if you think you need to. They're both pretty close, huh? Yeah, interesting. Alright. Alright, Don got the easy room. David also got the easy room. This bat room can, it can be tricky if you get the alternate pattern. You'll either have to spend extra meat to get by them, or weave your way through them, which is preferred. That's usually what they get extra meat for if they don't feel comfortable going through that without bait. And coming up is the first danger room, and of course both of these guys get the good room. I'm sure I will get the nuggets again. Looks like David's liking a bit. So what they're going to do is they're going to set down the bait and then set some bombs, set them off in battle to do a ton of damage, kill them instantly. That's basically the pet system. I can't remember the actual name. It's shortened to pets, but it's basically just the overworld system of placing bait and traps and just ending the battle before it starts, basically. And you actually get more party experience based on how well you do. Party experience is experience you can distribute outside of battle, so you can funnel it all to one character if you want, which is very important. Okay, so Diane is going to grab the treasure key and go for kick for safety. It is possible to do a setup later on without kick, but unless you're extremely familiar with that, it's not advisable. Sometimes there's a big nugget there that you have to put some bait down to get by. Not a huge waste of time or a loss of bait, but I mean, it is unfortunate either way. So I think Dinah's ahead. I can't tell because David's stream is lagging so much. The console this game is on PlayStation 2. It's the only one in the series that is a PS2 game, aside from the ones that can be played on PS2 with fast disk speed, which is what 3 and 4 do. Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Have I been that quiet this whole time? Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
No, you're perfectly fine.
Alright, so coming up is the Genic Accumulator, which has a very important item that can drop. It's the Power Boost. It can shave 20 to 30 seconds off of the upcoming boss, the first boss in the game, which is the Cyclops. And let's see if they get it. I don't want to get into this again, but Breath of Fire 5 is a good game in my opinion. Whether or not it's a good Breath of Fire game is up to you. It doesn't really matter. It does, however, take a bit of effort and a proper mindset to really crack it open. It's a pretty hard game to get into, in my opinion. Ooh, David's locked up. Alright, so Dine is going to do some extra shopping, and then we'll see if he's ever either level 6, 7, or 8, depending on the drop he gets coming up. And looks like he got... Ooh, that's level 7. That's pretty good.
This is our first fight here up against Cyclops, and in case it wasn't kind of explained, you do kind of get bonus experience in your fights, and you can level yourself up like this. And you'll notice up in the HUD as well, there's the AP system, so you get a certain amount of AP starting when you Basically, if you let a turn go, you get the same amount of AP back, like 1 full bar. So you can technically get 2 full bars. So what both our players are going to be doing here is going to be basically charging up their AP as much as they can and outputting a lot of damage. And then they're going to try and basically like just, I think Cyclops is going to get like 2 hits to tank through, heal themselves up, and then just kind of use the combos on the attack to build up the bonus damage with those percentages, and then slowly try and whittle Cyclops down and finish him off before he can kind of kill us, basically.
I really hope Dying healed. He hasn't healed yet.
There it is just now. Once.
Okay, good.
And he'll do another one, yeah.
Considering he was at... Oh. No, yeah, because he doesn't heal. He didn't heal before. It seems very risky to me, but living with 3 HP like that, at level 7 I guess we could get away with it.
Yeah.
We're using 3. Okay, he's using 3 heal kits just to make sure.
Just turning you up as well, Rex. We're all good.
So, at level 7, Dyne could remove his shield to gain some speed, and at level 7 and 8 you have a pretty good chance of outspeeding the Cyclops, but he's just going to play it safe. You could skip that whole...
Guys, apparently the game audio
I've
music is...
turned it down now, don't
Okay.
worry. Turn it down. So, what we're accessing now is... something is kind of like started. In terms of like general story... quickly, whereas Ryu's kind of like part of these like Bosch was with him, and they were basically trying to find their way to like go and check for some cargo, and then basically you stumbled upon Nina, and it turns out that Nina was the cargo that Bosch was going with you to find. So what we've got here is he's suddenly got this D-dash move, and the D-dash move is one of like the few dragon moves that you kind of use like actively, consistently in the field. Luckily, at this point, it's free to use. You haven't got your D counter like counting up, so there's going to be plenty of usage of the D-dash here. As soon as we start getting the percentage, using D-dash does add on to the percentage quite a little bit based on how much you use it, when you use it. So for now, it's just free reign. But when it starts counting, it'll be much more specific usage. I'm not too sure on kind of when it will happen, but yeah.
Not too long.
So Dyne right now doing a very good job there. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say Dyne has this good money advantage right now because he got a money drop, but David only got a safe token drop. Anyway, here's the spider danger room. It's can be pretty annoying. Dyne is playing this extra safe.
Yeah, that was good. By using
He got the.
It's just all about trapping in this early point. The bombs are really powerful, so you buying enough meat to kind of like plant it on the ground, you can like muscle your enemies around the rooms, and then plant those bombs to really get a bit of extra damage out, which is quite nice. So that's what you saw Dyne doing there.
Dyne did it beautifully. He didn't have any major mistakes.
What's
And
great about
now David's doing. Now David's doing the same room. And I'm not quite sure which. I think he got the same pattern that Dyne did because there's only 4 spiders there.
Yeah, we are unfortunately having a little bit of a slideshow there, but hopefully it'll calm down. And GG as well to Alone, who's just managed to take down Time, Astral, and Breath of Fire 4. So.
And they're gonna be picking up some extra equipment boxes because the one that Dyne picked up is always guaranteed to be there. It's always going to be equipment, and you can appraise and sell that, and you'll always make more than you spend because it costs 100 zenny to appraise, but the sell value is always higher than that. So we always grab that box because you never know how your money is going to be later on.
So it's going to be editing this quickly or something?
Alright, so let me know when I can start.
I will do, no worries, sir.
I think I'll start my stream now.
Yes, please. That'd be ideal. I'll try and do my best to keep up. I know the run fairly well, so I'll do my best to commentate.
Yeah, I might not commentate as much, but I might chime in if I can.
No worries.
And Dyne's gonna grab another extra save token. I will be grabbing that as well, just in case, even though we're really behind. But it's better that I be able to complete a run in a reasonable amount of time than not. So yeah, this game requires save tokens to save, and there are teleporters everywhere, like the ones Dine just passed, and we will be using some of them for safety, marathon safety, because there are some pretty scary points in this run that you don't want to lose on.
I believe Dine and David have now joined us in the chat. David's just sorting his mic out. Dine, how are you doing, sir?
Not bad. Yourself, sir?
I'm all right. I don't know as much about the run as you guys do, obviously. I just kind of just wanted to help out Rex because he needs to get ready with the thing.
I'm very apparently I'm very loud now. Gone upgraded from
I'll sort everything
too
out.
quiet.
I'll sort everything out. It's just because I went from my audio to someone else's audio again, and
Am I too loud on Discord or just compared to the game audio?
Oh,
Compared to
I don't know.
everything from what it seems like right now.
Let me move my mic back a bit.
Don't worry about that. Just focus on doing the commentary. I'll balance it out.
So yeah, this is Bosch came for the cargo, which is Nina, and Ryu said no, and then Bosch stabs him in the throat, effectively killing him, which awakens his latent dragon power, which he got from earlier from that dragon corpse. And there's a very interesting setup for this if you want to play it safe. Nina will put down 3 G flares. Lynn will push the enemies in a line, which also pushes Bosch into the 3 G flares, doing significant damage to him. And then Ryu, in his dragon form, uses the D breath, which hits in a line, doing a whole lot of damage. Very good D breath. 2.1 is very good.
I will never do that again.
That was perfect. That was perfect. Like, there's usually an audio cue that there is. So basically, when Ryu's charging up in dragon form to do that line breath, there is like a kind of like an audio cue to kind of find the right timing. At least
I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I just look until the D counter's about 1.8, and then I let go. I don't have an audio cue because I'm not very consistent at the setup.
I have to say I'm the same way. For the Bosch fight, I look at the D counter because that's what it's also very good to David to getting a 2.1 as well. That's very, very good.
Oh, congrats, David.
I also use a visual cue for all of them. I don't really use audio, although it probably could have been a good idea, but it's a bit late for that now. I'm not going to go back from for the danger room that's coming up. You will be doing D breath again, and it's a very short one, but it's just very hard to use as a visual cue because of how little damage you need to do, but also because the D counter is not going to be the same every time, so you can't use that unless you're quicker with math, I guess. If your math is pretty good and you're comfortable adapting to that on the fly, then that's fine. But I just have like just a certain amount of time I feel like I should hold it down for. I really have no good cue for that fight.
I kind of try to look for numbers. It doesn't. Sometimes I go a little over.
Yeah, I'll count like 0, 1, 2, 3, and then let go.
Yeah, kind of what I do. It's everyone will find their own little way that works for them. It's like the audio cue works for
I think the audio cue for the danger room coming up is actually a very good idea because it's like the shortest, like for the reasons I explained above. Also, Dine is getting the good pattern here for his danger room. Luckily, you won't have to use Lynn.
There's like a lot of these rooms require very intricate positioning and setup. So you can see that those enemies are trying to get down to the meat, but they can't. So they're going to be there for a little while, which allows everyone to kind of set everything up. Get these bomb explosions, and these 2 big guys are left, and then they're quick. It's very, very quick into the dragon. Use again just enough D counter to kill them off.
Let me know when I should start.
No worries, I will do that.
For that danger room, if both bombs hit, you're looking for about 310 damage.
310 is the exact amount, but going over by 1 or 2 frames is okay. Also, did you just use my new strat where you throw the bombs into the middle of the?
I really like that.
Yeah, I realized that. Like, why should we wait for them to see us when we just get their attention? So this game has seen a lot of development. Like, it's just crazy how much this game has just changed. Just because of the way the game is designed, there's a lot of potential in this game just through strategy alone.
I'll try to be. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
After you, sir. No, after you.
After you, sir. Well, most of us will try to be commentating the most we can. If one of us stops talking randomly, it's either because we're trying to work out a deep breath, or I just can't remember anything.
It looks like David had some trouble because it looked like he had to do more than 310 damage. I'm not sure. But he's at 5%, so I'm gonna say yes. Although he's not too far behind Don, so I wasn't quite sure. I'm not sure. Although David could have told me, but I think he's having some trouble right now with the microphone.
The D-breaths early on in this game are kind of make and break the rest of the run for you. It's very easy to go over just because the damage is frame based. So it does seem a little troubling in the first if you're trying to pick this up for a speed run or even casually, where you just hold it for a half a second longer and all of a sudden you're down 0.5%.
Yeah.
In a marathon setting, we do have ways to readjust our D counter for later on, but that usually involves a lot of the boss battles being a lot slower just because we are so under-leveled for the most of the run, and we take pretty big advantage of the dragon powers in this. We'll get into I'll get into more of the specifics later on when they're actually being used.
So, on the topic of the D-breath, every frame is 0.5%, which is about 1 second of D-dashing. I retimed this. I used to say that 0.1% was 1 second, but now it's actually twice that. I retimed it. So, every frame you go over with D-breath is 1 second lost later in the run if you have the D-counter to spare. Which isn't, like, honestly, because it's so, like, it's all frames, like, if, doing a little bit too much is better than doing too little, because if you do too little, you will have to do another D-breath, and you will have to time your,
You'll have less of a timing window.
Yeah,
we can hear you typing, it's all good. Just very, very quickly,
Go?
Dan. I'm going to ask you very, very quickly, Dan. It's not really about the game, but are you streaming just game audio?
Just my game audio?
Yeah, because I think we can hear Discord. Is it possible to separate those?
How would you like me to do that?
If you don't know, it's fine. I'll sort something out. It's all good.
I can turn up the
Desktop.
I got the game right now at 120.
Yeah, but can you mute the desktop audio?
My desktop audio is muted.
Okay. Somehow we're hearing echo is all. I'll work on it.
So, as I was saying, with the D-breath, it's very hard to do the exact amount of damage. So going over a few frames is fine, which is honestly easier than recovering from doing it too little, because then you'll have to do your deep breath again, and it's very hard to hold it down for the exact amount of frames. You usually tend to do more than you would if you were just to let go a little bit late, and you lose more time usually doing it too early than too late. So that's my, I'm done on commentating on deep breath. So David's doing a bit of safety shopping here.
I almost got hit by that can of phage. So this is ding for Dragon Quarter. Yeah, it's either
it's less of a grind and more of just we grab this money here.
So in this room there's a chance of one can of phage being separated or both can of phages being together like that. If we get both of them, I think David called them. I called it like a happy birthday, because you end up getting double the money. So basically, we're set for. I'm set for Zenny now for the rest of the run, unless I have to penalty retreat. So I can basically, if I get good weapon shops, I'm pretty set for a good weapon. So in this game, when you penalty retreat, if you've killed an enemy, you lose all experience that they would give you, and you lose 10% of your holding Zenny. So right now I have 20,000 Zenny. So if I escaped, I would lose 2,000 Zenny, which isn't a lot, but that's basically all the money I'm going to be picking up.
David got the preferred pattern. It's just really straightforward compared to the other room formation.
Isn't a lot, but that's basically all the money I'm going to be picking up. So the Canophages have a neat little property where if they drop 10,000 Zenny normally. If you attack them and you don't kill them in that one attack, the amount of Zenny they drop by half per attack. Now, bombs, I believe the bombs are, I like to call them like a chain attack because there's no gap in between. Like if you do an attack combo, it's slice, then you hit circle again for slice, where bombs go off repeatedly. So if you place enough traps to kill them before another moveset kicks in, the Zenny depletion doesn't kick in.
Basically, hitting it with 2 bombs is basically a combo, and it doesn't detract from the Zenny.
Yeah.
They were all. It's all just one combo, and then it dies. So you didn't lose any Zenny from it.
So the way the D counter works up to this point is for Ryu to turn into a dragon costs 1%. For every 9 to 20 steps, it's 0.01%.
Alright, please let me know when I should start. Is it coming up soon, or?
It's 0.01%. Looks like the year ending's coming up soon.
I turned off the stream, so I can't really commentate anymore. And I can't see where the Alone is. Thank you.
Bowie, Bowie, I'll just if it's coming from my end, I'll just mute my microphone, I guess. Bowie,
Alright, here we go.
Good luck, Rex.
Thank you.
Good luck, Rex. Should I keep trying to commentate, Bowie, or? Oh, I don't know if the echoing's starting to bother people, or. Oh, I don't know if the echoing's starting to bother people. The only audio on my end right now is just my headset.
Headsets can sometimes bleed audio through the microphone somehow.
Alright. So here in this danger room is not danger room. Here in Frozen Road, there's been one of the bigger route adjustments is where we fight this group of Aigus to get a weapon for Lin called the Cleaner. So what the Cleaner does is one very unique aspect of this game is it allows you to move the enemies around on the battlefield. So, and the Cleaner has a skill that's threaded onto it called Come Here. So Come Here is a single target vacuum type attack. For if you combo it with hey, it ends up working in like a cone. So you can suck, or you can vacuum in multiple enemies using 20 AP. And we'll use that for this fight coming up with the storage where there's 9 enemies.
8.
Where there's 8 enemies spaced out. So it saves us from turning it from a 2-turn battle into a 1-turn battle. Which, it saves the amount of time it takes to get the cleaner to begin with, plus a little after that.
Quite a bit, yeah.
So, and the way the party experience works in this game is it's the tactical and rating. So if you start a battle with the enemies eating a meat or a mushroom, you get 3%. If you kill 10 enemies at a time, you get 20%. So all these multipliers, once you add them together, you can just abuse the party experience to your advantage with very little effort. And just by finishing the... One second.
I got easy bets as well. Let's see what danger room I get. Oh my god, I didn't get nuggets this time.
Damn it.
Dude, you got this. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Oh, I know. So... Save. So this fight coming up is kind of like a boss rush, 3 different boss battles. Sorry about completely just losing my train of thought. So in the story, Zeno, the leader of the Rangers, is trying to get Nina off of Ryu. And she's saying that the dragon that linked with him is causing him not to act on his own thoughts, that he's being manipulated. So he's starting to fight back, saying, no, these are my actions, these are my thoughts. So they decide to attack him. So normally, I think this is the way David will be. David will be waiting for one turn to line everyone up using kick, where I'm going to wait till it's Lynn's turn and enough of the enemies have gotten close enough to me where I can use that weapon, the cleaner, to move them all close to me. And then here we'll see if I can do this right. I can end up lining everyone up, and I can just use Ryu right to D-breath. I just messed up a little bit.
No power boost.
So now that I got them all lined up, so this is where we end up using the first of the dragon powers that isn't D-breath.
Yeah.
So when you turn into a dragon, your initial attack power is cut in half. If you notice here in a second, when I use the dragon charge, it'll say ×1. So after you use the charge, I am now at my original attack stat before I turned into the dragon. I'm going to use an ability called Twister. Twister is a 2-hit ability that triples your base attack. So if my attack was 40, now that I used 1 charge, I'm hitting 120 attack twice. And that's where the real key lies about you abusing the dragon powers to a point where it's just kind of, the bosses don't last long at all. Because after you do a little bit of charge and then a certain skill, your attack power is multiplied so heavily that you just end up ruining everyone with very little effort. So here, what I like to do is, if you put down 2 G-flares in that little tight alcove, Zeno won't run to you. She'll end up trying to run along this huge long path to get to you. Which, if you're trying to get Nina or Lynn killed off, it's a little more efficient. But all the runners here have their own little twerks and tweaks and everything else on how to play it that works for them.
Play style.
Yeah. So you'll see deviations from David playing to me to Rex to Jenya, just because we've kind of picked and choosed our own routes and what we feel comfortable running with.
I'm kind of going all out.
So Ryu is, in this game, there's something implemented called a caste system. So your D ratio tells you in society where you are. So the lower your D ratio is, the dirtier of the air you breathe. So Ryu is just a grunt for the Rangers. Nina is a homeless child that they kidnapped and modified to be a mobile air filter. And Lynn is with the anti-government group Trinity. So Lynn was sent to get Nina from Ryu, and in return she ends up working with him. Where am I going? So, in the dragon form, you have 3 different attacks. You have a Vortex, Twister, and Hurricane. Vortex is a 2 times attack power that uses 10 AP and only hits once. Hurricane is good if you're running out of AP and you need to kill a lot of enemies. The problem is you get charged 1.25% per enemy you hit with. So it's not really wildly used unless you absolutely need to casually. So here we're coming up to the bat danger room. So we're going to use the same strategy that we used against the Dukes earlier. We're just going to have them keep flying against the wall to try to get the meat. We're going to try to space our bombs out so that the bats don't end up flying through the door and eating the meat. And as you can see there, because we killed all the enemies with bombs, we ended up getting almost double the amount of regular experience and party experience. So party experience is kind of like just a separate pool of experience that sits there and gets banked up, and you can use it on any time on any character you want. So I think this is how they kind of got around with the enemies not respawning after you've killed them. So, in this game, when you kill an enemy group, they don't respawn until you use a soul restart, soul restore, or just restarting the game normally. So, in this game, you really can't grind up to a large amount of levels in one playthrough unless you follow a really specific route. So this game was meant to be played over and over again. Bank up a nice amount of items, bank up a nice amount of party experience, and then kind of go ham. So here we run into the Dark Rangers. So they've been sent by the Regents to basically kill Ryu and Lin to get Nina back. So we're just going to use our good old one charge, one twister. Now, those hits were 750 damage each. If we were to hit them with our sword normally, we'd probably do about 40 damage. So, and you'll see later on when the enemies start to get more and more stronger, we'll start using more and more charges. Because when you use a ×2 charge with a Vortec, you're now getting 6 times your attack power. So, this game's good because you can basically position your enemies and your battle groups as you want if you have enough patience and enough items. So after you defeat that boss Tantra, you pick one or two routes, the north or the south, and you end up fighting kind of like a mini boss. We picked the north route because this boss is has less of a fire resistance, and all bombs in this game deal fire-based damage. So, since this guy's not very smart, he's just going to keep running against the wall. We're just going to have him trapped, and then blow him up. Oh, and I got the bad box pattern. So here we're gonna use all the party experience we've built up from storage and the other battles to give Ryu quite a bit of levels. And one of the new minor route changes is we picked up that Fire Blast from Nina. So the reason I put it in the second slot is to combo an ability, it has to be on the same slot as the first ability you used. Now, if I didn't have a trap for Nina, I could put it on my circle. But since I can't combo a trap into another item, I have to put it on her X where I have the Frost ability. So now I can go Frost, Fire Blast for an extra 10% damage on the Fire Blast, plus I get the 5% from her initial weapon. So this is one of the bosses where you're looking for a good crit, and it looked like David got one. So most of these bosses coming up, you're going to be looking for crits to finish them. The dragon form will get them pretty close, but the crit or just a really good damage roll will end up pushing them over. So that little cutscene shows Bosch having the arm of another dragon, and he wants it surgically grafted onto his arm. So Ryu has linked with a dragon called Ojin. Ojin's enemy is a dragon called Cheshire. So instead of Bosch being chosen by the dragon at this point, Bosch is forcibly being linked with the dragon. So, and now after fighting the Dark Rangers, Ryu and Lin don't know what to do with Nina, so they're bringing her to the anti-government group Trinity to see if they could end up helping her out. So, the basis of the story behind it, since we got a little downtime, is the two dragons dragons fought on the surface and end up scorching the earth. So they end up living underground. So the dragon you seen for a brief moment in the beginning was what they call a dragon half, because he was cloned from one of the original dragons. So the higher your D ratio is, the higher you supposedly have a chance to link with a dragon. So since Ryu was such a low D ratio, he shouldn't even have a shot in the world to link with a dragon, but they never really explain at what point how they give the D ratio to the people. So here we're entering Trinity, and Nina ends up collapsing. So they end up having this medical bay ready for her. So they're just telling Ryu to relax. And here we're gonna switch our plasma macer we got earlier to the Violet Blade. Now the Violet Blade's got pretty good attack stat, but it's also the lowest weighted weapon in the game, which means it'll give you the highest speed. So later on we're going to be looking at different shops to find different weapons, but the Violet Blade is what will give us a better chance of outspeeding a lot of enemies. So when we find a better weapon, what we'll do is we'll equip the stronger weapon, go into dragon form, continue the battle as normally, and then as soon as we're out of the battle, we'll re-equip the Violet Blade to give us the speed to guarantee that we start first. So here you see David running around to every one of the enemies individually. And from the segmented run from the Speed Demos archives, they showed a way where we could debreath both enemies in a line, where it makes it a little more difficult, just because, like Rex was saying, the damage is frame based. Well, when you charge past 1, so when you charge the ×2, your damage is doubled on that frame base. So your D counter also, the damage escalates a lot quicker. So it makes it even more difficult to manage your D counter, because you can go over twice as fast. But the payoff is it's about
6 seconds?
Yeah, it's about 6 seconds. About 6 seconds faster. It's not a real lot, but it's just something a little cool to show off. And plus, I've been pretty good with managing my D counter so far. So even if I went over a little bit, it wouldn't be detrimental at this point. So since we haven't really been talking about a lot, the shops in this game when you start your game are set. So there's some shops that have a static output, which means they'll always sell the same amount of items. Where there are some shops that have 1 to 4 different layouts they can have, and one of those layouts is always defensive gears. So the shop I checked in mid-sector had nothing but shields. So I have, yeah, I have high hopes. So there is a chance that there's a box set up after this room where I can get a Celtis +1, which is kind of...
Or Mando. You can get a Mando blade as well.
Oh, you can? I don't think I've ever gotten a Mando. Maybe I just never made it that far to appraise it. So, and if we don't find it there, we have one more chance to buy it. If not, we can run with the Violet Blade. Doesn't make it that much. It doesn't make it a lot more difficult. It just you have less room and you're more apt to spend an extra 1% or 2 doing a Vortex follow-up, especially on the later bosses, where I'll talk about more about that when we get to it. So here coming up, we're meeting our old friend Bosch again, and he's got that nifty new arm attached to him. So, with Bosch, we're going to use 1 charge and 2 twisters. So, if you get a crit, he's instantly dead. So what we're going to do is we use 2 twisters normally. So we're going to hit them towards the party. And if we're not getting any crits, like I did, we'll end up knocking them away. Oh, I got a crit at the end. Do I want to do it? Oh, yeah.
If you get a crit, just do it.
So, when you attack the enemy... Oh, that was close. When you attack an enemy from behind, I think you get a 50% accuracy, or it's just enemy specific, but it's better off if you can miss an attack with an enemy to hit them from behind. Just because it's a guaranteed hit. Because if you go to use a Vortex or a Twister in Dragon form and you end up missing, you're all of a sudden down 2% or 1% or 1.5%.
I can't believe what just happened just now. I got 4 Sapphire Mazers.
I got that on my practice run right before streaming.
And I didn't even go for the Platinum Mazer, by the way. This was all a gamble.
So this is our last shopping area to try to get a better weapon for Ryu. And I end up getting the Mando. So the Mando decreases my speed, but it gives me another 11 attack. Which, when you confirm that with the 2 charges and a Twister, I am now getting an extra 132 attack per Twister overall between the 2 attacks. So, after that battle with Bosch, the Dragon Arm basically ends up linking with Bosch. And by doing that, it ends up killing him. Because that seems to be the theme about this game. So, now we got told where if we keep going the way we are, we'll end up reaching the sky. Which is basically the whole point, because there's fresh air and there's a good chance Nina will survive. I messed that up. So what you want to do in this danger room is try to separate the Charon from the rest of the zombies. Now you can either use 3 procs and 1 bomb, or you can use 1 procs and 2 bombs. It's all just runner dependent. So, now that that's done and over with, now there are a couple of rooms coming up here where they're kind of jump scary, where depending on the setup, there's a couple of the zombies that will start just running at you. And they're around a corner sometimes. Skeletons, yes. So sometimes you don't see them, and if you don't turn your camera right away or throw a piece of meat, you'll end up just with a nice little surprise. So, you want to try to use your dashes in this game very liberal. Just because 1 dash here, 1 dash here, use 10 dashes, all of a sudden you're up to close a 0.5%.
I wouldn't say that's liberal, but
Yeah.
more conservative. Like you have to use them in certain spots to get through enemies that you otherwise wouldn't be able to. But otherwise, you can't really use it too much.
So you'll see on David's screen, he's starting to fight one of the region's Demonid. And all the bosses from here on forward, they implemented something called absolute defense. And if you're playing this game casually, it probably really infuriated you because it doesn't give you a good description on what it does. So what absolute defense is, each boss from now on has a set amount of damage you have to do to them in a combo string before you can actually start damaging their hit points. So Demonid has 300 absolute defense. So if you did slash and ended the turn, if you tried attacking again, his absolute defense would be back at 300. Now if you noticed with the twister hits, the second one was generally 300 damage lower. There is damage variances with each attack. So some enemies have lower, some have a little higher, but you have to do damage in a continual combo to get through it. And this is the part where you'll start to see the D counter jump quite heavily, just because now the bosses are using 8%, 9% each to kill. Now, if I wouldn't have bought that Mandel blade, there would have been a good chance I would have had to use a vortex to kill him, because there's no way I can do 300 damage plus whatever his remaining hit points is with the attack power I have and the level I'm at. So this is center. This is like the Beverly Hills, I guess. It's
What?
I don't know. I had a brain fart.
I like that comparison.
I didn't know what else to say. Oop. So this is where all the clean air is. This is where all the good food is, and this is where all the high ratio people are. Our citizens are. They're called regents. They're the ones with 164 and higher. And they're the ones guarding the sky from being opened up to everyone again. So, here we're gonna see if I get the right box this time. So, this little guy here is called a Pandora's box. And so if you kill him in one turn, he drops a 7th sense. The 7th sense is the only stat boosting item that stacks with your dragon ability. So using a 7th sense is saving you 2% on your D counter. Now, power boosts, armor boosts, they don't stack with the dragon, but the 7th sense is a 50% boost to all stats per one turn. Or, yes. So that makes it even more... It gives you a little bit of leeway because we're effectively having 104%. But your dragon charge doesn't carry over from turn to turn. So if you charge up and then end your turn, you have to charge back up again. So that's where the dragon powers also are overpowered, but a hindrance is if you're going to use them, you have to kill your enemy in that one turn. If not, you're just reusing more and more of the D power. So here we'll meet another one of the Regent. There's 2 paths we could take. We effectively have to fight 4 of the Regents out of the 6. So this one, Hortensia, she'll end up sending her pet Anakade after you. And Anakade has infinite hit points. So he'll just keep walking around and just keep slugging you like there's no tomorrow. And there's nothing you can do. So you gotta keep him occupied with a character while everyone just goes after Cupid normally. Where in the speedrun we just... The 2 charge, 2 twister is very strong at this point. And we'll end up picking up keys. So the reason we pick Cupid and Jesuit is it gives us 2 chances to get 7 senses. Now if we did... So that's why we picked this route as it is. Because it allows us to use the dragon powers on a lot of earlier bosses instead of trying to fight them normally to save the D counter for coming up to here.
And you don't have to deal with Vexation.
I still want to fight him. He's a fun boss.
It's been so long, I don't even remember.
You fight him in 1/4, it's really fun. For like the 8 seconds. So this boss, Jesuit, is probably one of the most pain in the butt ones casually. So he uses a move called Shadow Walk, which makes him invisible and he cannot be targeted until he drops out of it. Now if you're playing this casually, you probably didn't know you could just lay 3 traps, or 2 traps if you do it right, because he only has 50 absolute defense. So if you have him knock into 2 traps, it'll knock him out of Shadow Walk. If not, it takes about 3 turns to get him out. And on top of that, he can be a huge troll and immediately go right back into Shadow Walk. So you could be... I know on David's low dive run, it took to like turn 21 or 25, just because he'd keep going to Shadow Walk, losing it, and then just keep going back into it. So Cupid and Jesuit are a guaranteed kill, but with Jesuit is one of the bosses you want to attack from behind, just because his speed is so high, you have a high chance to miss. And like I said, missing one, a Vortex will not make up for a missed Twister hit, so you have to effectively still spend that 1.5%.
If you miss with a dragon attack, depending on how conservative or not you are, you will just lose the run. Like you cannot finish the run at all.
Once you get to past really anything past the second Bosch, once you get into the center, the bosses are just, especially with their absolute defense, there is no way to regulate your D counter. It's once it's at that, it's you either just gotta hope and pray or stock up on a lot of safety items and go from there. So I do apologize if I'm very spastic with my commentating. I'm trying to concentrate and think of what to talk at the same time, and I'm not the best at any of that. So I do apologize to everyone in chat. I know it's kind of been all over the place, but we're trying to make it work with the best we got, and unfortunately, I'm the best.
You're doing fantastically.
Thank you, Jenya. So here we're just gonna do another safety save, just cause it's the last 3 bosses of the run. Why not save to be safe? Because I don't want to play this again. So here, casually, this is the best part of the cutscenes. So Elion's the leader of the regions, and Elion will form 2 alter egos. So if you don't kill him within 20 turns, he instantly wipes. So this is the first battle. You'll see me use a 7th sense and then decharge twice. Oh, David got the backup to work. Sorry. So we're gonna charge twice. So with that 7th sense, it effectively gave us ×3 decharge. And Elion's another boss with a really high evasion stat. I think it's about 20% if you hit her head on, give or take her weapon. So if you had the Celtis that was also a -20, you'd have a -40%. So it's easier and it saves you from being this late in the run. You might as well just take the extra couple of seconds just to be safe. So as you've seen on David's screen, if you're at level 32 with the Violet Blade, Bosch has a good chance to outspeed you.
Was he level 32?
I don't know, I didn't look, but I was going to talk about level 33 also. So at level 33, there's about a 10% chance that he can outspeed you. So you can either put G-flares like David did to try to stop Bosch from going ham on Ryu, because if you don't have any healing items, you're basically the run's dead. So we've been working on trying to make this as marathon safe as possible. There are a lot of backup strats. None of us really had to use them. But if you're looking to pick up the game, we do have marathon safe strats, which will be good for a new runner to pick up because they are very conservative. So it's not so physically demanding right off the bat. And I pooped the bed.
What happened?
Oh, I'm gonna have a whole percent left over. I played way too safe.
Oh, I see.
Oh no.
GG, David.
GG, David. So, just for a little thing, Rex actually showed me that this victory lap boss has an attack. and I'm gonna show it off just because there's a lot of time in between everything, and David already whipped my butt.
Sure.
So
just make sure you actually, pass your turn and don't cancel your turn or pass your turn.
And so my run was... Oh, nice! Congrats. Oops, my run was 1:08:12.
I didn't know that we were supposed to time ourselves because it said that you can run your timer if you want. I didn't realize that was mandatory.
Basically, like, just find out what your IGT time is and
add like
9 minutes 48 seconds or something like that.
Sure.
So. Thank you very much. And now I can actually give maybe coherent commentary. Yeah, dude, just add like, just do what we did for our estimates, I guess. Just add 10 minutes to the IGT.
I'm basically 10 minutes behind anyway.
Yeah. Well, I totally forgot to split through everything, so I just mashed my space bar.
I wasn't using a timer because I didn't think it was necessary. Sorry.
No problem. You can't lower your D rate. You can't lower your D counter. So the only way you can lower it is if you use cheat engine with an emulator.
Yes.
Yes, if you cheat, you can do it. But there is no way to lower it. There are enemies you can fight along the path called Cerberuses, and Cerberuses have a 1 in 4 chance to drop 7 senses. So if you want to lower it, you can take the extra time to fight the Cerberuses, which go down in 2 rounds with Ryu, one in an EX and then his turn after. So you can fight them for a chance to get the 7th sense. If your ratio is quite high, if you're trying to run this or even just casually and you want to give yourself a little bit, there are enemies that drop items that you can use to substitute.
Like, for example, there's like a huge money drop in Frozen Road if you want to do that.
Yes, the Jack-in-Boxes. So here at the ending, basically Ryu has hit the end of the counter, so he's gonna die. Spoilers. So he ends up sending Lin with Nina up to the sky so they can enjoy it. And Ojin ends up talking with Ryu, saying the only reason you got here is because it's your determination. And he ends up restoring him back to life.
Because he can just do that, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, it's my happy canon.
Fine, have your happy endings.
Yep. So, basically, Ryu got to fulfill his wish, keep everyone alive, and then pay F ? For respect. If you hit 100% for the end game, the game is over. You see Ryu explode into a bunch of dragon shards.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And then it says game over. You can either use a soul restore or a soul restart. So if you're using the scenario overlay or the soul system, you take whatever stats or whatever party experience, Zenny, and equipment you currently have, and you can use them to start in a new game. The items in your inventory are gone, and you don't get to keep those. So if you hit 100%, or if you're playing casually, there's one thing you can do. They're called Elion loops. So you save where we did for the safety save, and you can keep fighting Elion over and over again for a nice chunk of party experience. So if you want to casually get ready for a 1/4 run, or just have a next run through playthrough where you just want to blow through everything, that would be, it's one of the optimal ways to do it. So when you beat this game, you get points. You'll see on David and mine, we should be the same ratio. So when you beat the game, so you get 10 points for not saving, 10 points for beating the game under 8 hours, 10 points for getting all the blue chests, 10 points for 95% EX turns, which means you hit the enemies way more than they've hit you to start with, and then your average level. So when you get to 100 points, your D ratio is 1/4, which is the highest D ratio in the game. Which is, you really don't get anything for it. It does make a couple of conversations in the beginning a lot more interesting. Getting 1/4 is quite hard, but it's a pretty good feeling. So, like I said, with the Elion loops and then abusing the soul system, it does make it quite a bit easier. So there are ways. This game is hard, but it did leave a couple of loopholes open for everything.
泣きすぎだよ、ニーナ。
But with the new strat with grabbing the fire blast from the bat room, it eliminates that and it makes it a lot safer. Especially when you use your second twister to knock Bosch away from you, because he'll spend his turn running to the end of his movement ring, and then he won't be able to attack your enemy. That doesn't cost AP.
So the reason I ran away there was, because I was using the Celtics, I didn't want to risk losing in the marathon, like it's basically a marathon setting right now. So I would have hit him again towards Nina, but I would have had a chance to miss. And so I also didn't want to risk leaving Ryu with Bosch and not killing him. So I just played it safe so that nobody died.
So the Bosch fight, which is something I never got to talk about, he has an interesting mechanic where he regains hit points every turn based on the amount of hit points he has remaining. So casually, or even in the speed run, if you let him sit there for too many runs, he'll just keep banking more and more hit points back up, which makes it an even more grueling fight, but the game gives you no indication of that. So it's really important that you don't use your AP in that battle unnecessarily. So, since Rex already has a better weapon, he doesn't need to check the shop. He can just keep going on from there. What patterns does he get?
Boxes.
So, like I said, if anyone's interested in trying to pick this up for a speed run or just a casual play, our marathon notes do state where or what D ratio you should be at for what part of the game.
D counter?
Yes, sorry. And certain bosses, there's things you can do instead of doing like a charge and a twister, you do two twisters and then just finish them off normally to save that little 0.5% here, 1% there, just to make it easier for the earlier game. So watching David K 519's RPG LB run from 5-6 months ago would probably be one of the best ways to get into it. The explanations of the runs are very well done, and his management of the D counter very early in the game shows on how you can still be fairly quick and maintain a low D counter for later on. So you get the 1/4 ratio by meeting certain requirements in the game. So not saving, beating under 8 hours, a large amount of the blue chests, average party team over 50, secret dungeon all the way to the end will guarantee that you get the 1/4. So on GameFAQs they have a very detailed list about that.
Ooh, that demon crit.
Oh.
Well, time to bet it all.
Oh. Oh, I got an ad.
Oh, nice. So now I'm going to show what you can do if you have a lot of D-counter and you're willing to take a risk, because I should stop around 58, like 0.5 something before Cupid, but my run has been not that great, and because I'm so behind anyway, I may as well. I'm going to be burning an extra 1% of D-counter through D-dashing that I saved from critting Demonhead, in the hopes that I crit Bosch 3, and that means I save like 20 seconds or more.
So for every D-dash you do, it saves about 2 seconds off your timer.
0.1% is 2 seconds.
So 2 dashes?
Yeah.
You said 1 dash
0.05
is...
is. I said
Yeah.
I said 0.1% is 2 seconds, which is before diminishing return seconds. I use that as a benchmark.
Oh, okay. I never got into the nitty-gritty of that with you. So, now I know. So, if you do a 0.1 dash, you save 2 seconds, which is kind of the trade-off between being conservative, knowing when to conserve your D counter and when you have enough left over to spend dashing, especially during the last part. During the end, the higher you can get your D counter close to 100, it's just more just to show on how the runners have... Whoa. On how the runners have... Well, David got 3 minutes higher than me on IGT. It shows how well the runners manage their D counters. So David K was the world record holder for the longest time for any percent with
54.
With a really good 54 in game time, and Rex is putting a lot of work into this in the last 6 months, year. Well, and he's knocked it down to a good 51 in game time. So, and with his sum of best, he's got a chance to look down to 50. So
maybe even a 49.
So I definitely recommend giving both of them a follow if you want to see really good any percent runs done. Because my any percent, you've seen all of mine. I just did them right there. They're all going to be exactly the same. I don't get better at this category. I have no idea why.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Wow. Sorry.
Yay!
I'm so sorry that my mic wasn't working.
J'accuse!
I am. Yeah, that's too bad. I wish we could have been talking when it was so close like that. I mean, at some point I didn't know because like I was hearing Rex talking occasionally, so I didn't really know what was going on. And I was glancing at chat and saw that people were saying how close it was, and I'm like, oh geez. So I actually played kind of a little bit riskier than I would have near the end. I normally would let someone get killed by Jesuit to guarantee myself to get to 32, but I didn't. I went ahead and went fast because I thought I needed to catch up.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it was at that point, but it worked out. I mean, I got a kind of a pseudo quick Bosch because I was level 32 at Bosch 3.
From what I looked over when I glanced, we're pretty much tied at Tantra 2 until you got the crit kill.
Oh yeah.
And then I went for the Jesuit sacrifice, because I thought you would have too. I was like, beautiful! And then I just looked and I was like, well, that's the end of that. But no, it stayed pretty close up to, like I said, the you getting the Tantra 2 crit just kind of pushed you in that lead.
Yeah, and honestly, like, I thought my run went really, really well for a marathon run, so, like, it's really incredible that we were that close the whole time. Like, I'll have to go back and watch your run, because it seems like you did pretty well.
I did good until I started getting the sidetracked, but we did keep it pretty close. Like I guess if I would have got the crit on Tantra, it would have been a lot closer, but you getting that 15-20 seconds off that just gave you that lead, especially I think it was like halfway through the run too.
Yeah, I'm guessing you didn't get like a crit or double crit on Boost Bosch.
No, I got him down to like no health, and then luckily 2 slices killed him.
Yeah, I finished him off on turn 1 with Nina, I think.
Oh, I didn't catch that. Yeah, so that was just another point where like you just kept inching ahead and inching ahead. But we did keep it pretty close for a long time, and we had a pretty good start. I didn't think, being 30 hours into the relay, that 2 teams would have started almost at the same time still.
Yeah,
so,
that's pretty crazy.
Good props to Bowie there for balancing the teams and paying off the RNG to work for everyone.
Except for soft locks.
Yeah. Would we have 2 Breath of Fire, 1 soft locks?
Yeah, we had 2 soft blocks.
Of course I get the crit on Alien because I always do. And that's the only crit I will get. Oh, I got 2, sorry.
Rex is the only runner that gets mad about saving time.
Actually, it seems like
It doesn't save time on this fight.
Crits happen on Elion pretty often.
Yeah, they do. But they never happen on Bosch or Demonid.
I don't know if that's because of the ads or something.
It's just luck. My luck just sucks.
Well, I don't know if it's like the damage reduction too, because I was watching one of David's low dives and discharge damage scaled.
Yeah, it scales up on Elion.
So I don't know if that
Yeah,
makes them more susceptible to crits.
That doesn't make sense.
A lot of this game doesn't make sense when you start putting 2 and 2 together.
Yeah. Also, I put G flares for Demonade so I wouldn't have to use a Vortex. I don't know if you did that. Or
no, I end up getting the Mandal blade. So I got a
yeah, I had a Celtis too, but I wanted to put those down just to make sure, because otherwise it was that or hope for a crit there or a crit on Bosch 3. And I thought, on average, it's going to be faster for me to just set those G flares and get a much higher chance of just killing Demonade that way.
What did you end with on your what did you end up with your D counter?
I crit Bosch 3, even though I had counter for a vortex. If I would have had to use the vortex there, I would have ended over 99.9.
Oh,
I would have been like 99.95 or something like that. But I got that crit, so I ended up like 0.5% lower than that.
all right, Rex, show us how it's done. I ended up at 99. So, and it looks like Rex should be ending with a 99.98.
Yeah.
GG, Jenya.
What?
Not yet.
Oh.
when did he pass me? When did he pass me?
No, I just seen the GGs in chat and I looked down and I seen the black screen. So I was like, hey, he's done 4.
I still got a 4 ahead of me.
Oh, I thought you meant 5. I was scared for a second.
Oh,
Did he not do Oh, okay.
GG Rex,
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
GG.
He wins for ending with the highest counter.
yes. I
We'll see
went
who
for
has-
just finishing.
Because that's really that's who the real winner is. Like I was so stoked when I ended on 99.98 at limit break. After the practice run before that, ending on 99.99. That was so
That's still-
ridiculous.
That scares me.
So, of course I didn't get the Bosch 3 crit, so the time saved from the extra D-dashing meant nothing. That's cool. Always happens.
光が見えるニ
You
ナ
finished the run, that's all that matters, sir.
Yeah. I had the Celtic, so I was worried, but like I
ニナを連れて先に
before the
行ってくれ
run, David said that you can
さすが
still
に
kill with
疲れ
Nina
た
at level 33 with the Violet Blade, so I was like, you know what? Even if I get the Celtis, I'm still gonna go
しばら
ham.
く動けそうにないから
And as long as I didn't switch the Celtis at Bush 3, I think I would have been fine. But even if I missed, I would have just reloaded anyway, so who cares?
しょうがない
Yeah,
わ
in my experience, you pretty consistently killed Nina with 2 AP bars in
Yeah,
that
that's
situation.
Speaking of which, Zeno, I used 1 G-Flare for safety, and I still didn't kill her with the Sapphire Mazer, which is incredibly unlucky.
行くから
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
I had Plasma Macer, which is +3 attack on that,
It's
and
plus
I
1. Yeah.
killed outright without a crit.
Yeah. I
I got-
went for the time save because I was so behind, and I got 4 Sapphire Mazers, of course.
I got the close
俺た
kill
ちの役割も終わりってとこだな
with the plasma +1.
So did you do cleaner, Dine, or no?
Yes,
Okay.
but
Yeah,
I
kind
did.
of-
I did Kickless.
I was looking for it. I positioned Lin wrong, so I had to use a bunch of reuse AP to move everyone around, and then I lost more time just trying to line up the D breath.
一つ聞かせてほしい
So it was just those little mistakes, like I said, that just kept putting me like a little further behind. But I grabbed the kick just for safety, because there's just some formations where the cleaner I just haven't worked out enough on what to do
Who
with them.
needs a kick? I don't.
I do.
Yeah, I didn't have any intention of using cleaner this run.
それを聞いて安心したよ
But I hope you really pick up on the new stuff, because I want to see you beat 54. I want to see you 53, 52.
Yeah, I'm hoping to lower my any percent eventually, but it's not like a huge goal for me because
Uh-huh.
I'd rather do something like low dive
Okay.
first, and maybe do some any percent kind of on the side. I want to
Sure.
start getting back into doing Breath of Fire Sundays more, which I kind of got away from that the last little bit. It was just a little bit preoccupied with some other stuff, but I'm hoping to get back into that.
Oh, it'd be nice to have you back with it. Just
Yeah,
get
and I know,
more-
yeah, like some of the people I was talking with at Limit Break were excited for the potential to see some low dive again. So I definitely want to make good on my promise to do that. So
Yeah, I mean, if we
So-
have to have a low dive runner, it might as well be you.
Well, on that,
I saw you do, Giant, I saw you upload a low dive recently.
yes, the marathon Zujin was talking about at the end of Breath of Fire 2, the really, really long-a-thon. I am running Breath of Fire low dive in that marathon.
Oh boy.
So,
Enjoy your 20-turn Jesuit.
oh, I'm 30. They gave me 45. They gave me 45 minutes just for that.
yeah,
So-
in my low dive PB, my Jesuit's pretty awful.
I still have to figure out what to do between trapping him in the pool table and him just trolling shadow walks over and over again.
Yeah, I'm seriously considering routing him out of low dive, but who knows?
Just
I've
going
been
for-
trying to.
just going for
I've been
the
trying to do that with Ogre Slice. I've been trying to route in the Ogre Slice just because of the Sapphire Macer with Asimov. It does some pretty good damage if Asimov doesn't keep pushing and doing drill press on him.
すぎだよ
But then you don't get the 7th sense, right?
Now you.
Well, you would farm Seven Senses another way.
Oh,
There
really?
is a my idea was there's that Cerebus at the end of Lifeline right before you fight Bosch.
Yep.
You could save at top sector and do SOL resets to farm Seven Senses from him. But I don't know if
Wouldn't it be? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
well, I don't know if the time it would take to do that, especially since he's not guaranteed to drop 7 cents. He can also drop a Pyromania. I'd have to see, like on average.
Would the
How
three
fast?
Cerberuses before Hortensia be better to farm?
Well, that's what I do. That's what I do currently.
Oh, well, I know.
I take Hortensia and I trigger that danger room and kill all those Cerebuses and hope for 7 cents drops that way.
So why, for both of your games, is your date so messed up? You're both at year 2000, March 4th.
My
and
PS,
and they're both 506. What?
my PS2's battery is dead. Oh, my save.
Oh! So that must be
Yeah.
both of you have that problem.
Yeah, the clock on my PS2 used to be accurate, but it got reset sometime and haven't bothered to try to fix it. I don't know if it's because the battery's dead. I run on an old fat PS2.
Oh, I have a slim.
Yeah, I
And
run
what's
on
weird
one.
is even though I still have the battery or whatever, the time is still off by several hours for some reason. When I save in Dragon Quarter, it's like several hours either above or below, I forget. But so
guess
I
that's
have my clock set to match to my game file will save and be at the accurate date and time.
I think it's because it's set to like a Japanese time zone by default, maybe.
That's weird. Anyway, those view ratios are pretty cool. Hold on, I changed my memory card.
I'd like to put a big shout out to Bowie for putting this together. Like to thank all the runners for being involved in this. It was awesome to see 3 teams, and then Genya being a madman
Don't
again.
do this.
But hopefully next year we can get 4 teams, or 4 teams plus Genya if we can
Come
give
on,
them
no.
give them enough coffee.
Well, the one time this would happen. Okay. 55. I'll take that. 1 over 512. So the in-game time still runs before your save. So if that happens, yeah. But luckily, I still came in the lead by quite a bit in terms of individual times and my D ratio as well. But yeah, GG.
Yeah, definitely. And Jenya's still got this game to go, but
guys, you really like don't sit around for this abomination of a speedrun.
But
yeah. Well, I need to go eat dinner pretty soon anyway.
Genya,
yeah.
And if I gotta go for like 5 minutes, but if you want, like, I'll do a little bit of commentating over your run,
Yeah,
just to have someone to talk to if you want.
Guys,
Yeah, hopefully we can help you.
don't
Hopefully
feel
we can help you.
obligated. Don't feel
Hopefully
obligated.
we can-
I'm perfectly fine, but yeah.
Okay, well, it's
I mean,
up to you,
I
sir.
appreciate it. No, hold on. That was wrong.
no.
You
You've
sure?
heard my voice for the last hour and a
Okay,
half.
I'm
Believe me,
sorry.
it's not going to be offensive.
We're here to give you support.
But yeah, I'll reiterate Dine's sentiment that thanks to everyone who was involved in this relay, Bowie, Magus, everyone who has helped running things, all the runners, everyone who watched. It's another awesome event, and I hope to participate in Relay 3, hopefully, if we have another one. So thanks, everyone. I'm gonna peace out.
Have a good one, David.
Thanks,
Yep.
Bowie. It was a pleasure racing against you, David.
All right, let's get this over with. Mr. Bowie. Huh? Yeah. I don't even know how to play this game, so let's see. That's good. It's actually quite interesting, like playing through different like playing through games that all have like a different style of movement and all that. Like it's really like. I should be like my sound should be fine? Question mark? I don't know. You should see.
The reset's here. That's when it's mad. Sorry for doing. Oh no, you're good. Might be hearing me though, which is fine. We're gonna hear, turn on the mic.
Breath of Fire, Dragon Quarter.
Hold on, turned on the game volume.
Breath of Fire 5
It's a bit
Dragon
too
Quarter.
loud. Hold on, I have to turn on the game volume.
There is a bit of echo, so
It's a bit too loud.
it's alright. I think at this point we're kind of sorted, I think, aren't we? But hey, so yeah, Jamie's going to obviously one of the newer runners of Dragon Quarter, so I think, aren't we? Still amazing that this guy managed to pull this off and learn every single Breath of Fire game.
Again.
Still amazing.
Again.
Again, yeah. I mean, let's first of all
Again.
see if I can actually finish the run.
Again.
Again, yeah. I mean,
That's true.
let's
We
first
could,
of all
well, I mean, if nothing else, we'll get to see the game over
see if I
screen.
can actually finish the run. That's true. I'm just gonna showcase the bad ending.
Or
Fine.
we get to actually see the ending because not all of us skipped it.
I'm just gonna showcase the bad ending.
Or we get to actually see the ending because not all of us skipped it.
Alright, so yeah, as he already mentioned, I'm like for Dragon Quarter I'm kind of a new runner still. Despite having the game like only picked up the game like recently, I for me this is like the most interesting speedrun out of the entire series. For me this is like the most interesting speedrun. Oh wait, we have echo. All right, then I'm not gonna say anything.
It's okay. What I'll do is I'll just duck out and I'll let whatever comes on your end come through. Alright? It's okay. Hey, what I'll do is I'll just duck out and I'll let whatever comes on your end come through. Alright? Are you capturing your mic as well?
Yeah, I am.
Okay,
Should I not?
That should work out then.
Should I not? Or
No. It's just that could you we've got more than
Should I
game
not?
audio, so that's way coming through on my end as well.
Should
So
I
if I just mute
not?
myself
Or-
and you just do what you're going through, it could come through you. We've got more than new game audio, so way coming through on my
That should
end as
work,
well.
yeah.
So if I just mute myself and you just do what you're going through, it'll come through you.
that should work, yeah. Rip that one bat. Alright, let's see. I don't know what kind of room I'm gonna get here. Probably the bad one. I think everyone got the dukes, right?
Everyone got the. We all got the good room.
God
for this room, the
damn
bats.
it.
Oh, you mean the danger room?
Yeah.
Yeah, we all got no nuggets. But we also all got.
I also
good bat
don't
room.
get the nuggets. Nice.
Oh, good.
That doesn't mean anything for me though, but yeah. Oh god. Yeah, this is what I mean. The guy in the back, the one that I actually wanted to hit had this run away, so that's okay though. As long as I don't get rid of the bombs, it's absolutely fine.
Yeah, this game can be rough. This game is very punishing. These setups are a good amount of practice.
Oh, nice. How did I not hit? No, I hate when that happens. Alright, going for a bonus round here.
Jenya, do you know about Twin Wake?
Yeah. Is it better to use that? I actually don't know. I just spam
Twin
like
Wake is like
everything.
way better.
Okay, so
Just do snake bite line smash.
that makes a lot of sense.
Plus you poison and lower their defense. Not that poison is very good in this game, but it's something. Like even against the player's poison is not very good because it's based on your remaining HP instead of your max HP.
I see. Oh, I didn't.
So typically at the end of runs, you'll see either Nino or Lynn take 0 damage because their health is so low at that point.
Yeah, that's like the best thing that ever happens.
Is this gonna be is this PB pace?
Definitely. Already great. For some reason, the big guys did not get into the encounter. I don't know how they were so close. I don't know how they did not get into that encounter there. Anyways, we're gonna take a little extra too here. Seems totally fine.
I guess if you have to attack multiple enemies, then just using Fang over and over is preferred to using Twin Wake. Until you get down to, I guess you can't anymore, because out of AP. Then again, we're also really behind, so any advice I have is like an afterthought.
That's okay. Getting through normally. That was already a pretty bad start. That's okay though. Didn't waste any D counter, Kappa.
Yeah. Still at 0%, we're good to go.
Oh, yeah, right. This, yeah. So ideally you want to get them all into like a single encounter and then just bomb them all up, but for some reason I was, I guess, too far away from the final, like from the 2 enemies in the back. I don't know how, but okay. I thought it was pretty close to them. Actually, again, like I'm absolutely not sleepy right now. I'm totally awake. The sleepy phase has been over since a bunch of hours.
You're at the overtired stage.
Exactly. Well, yeah, yeah, like the second wind phase. Basically. I hate when that happens. Just wanna get some scrub kids, because I'm a scrub. I guess I could just kill that thing.
If you start with Bosch and then use Snake Bite Twin Wake combo, it should kill that high chi. The big one.
I actually just want to get a couple of the smaller ones. But I don't know. This one of those, okay, that's not helpful. Whatever. Getting stuff to sell, because why not?
Oh, fun fact about the Haichis is if you, on the ones that you can actually enter battle with, if you use fire on them, you actually get better healing items from them.
Yeah, it upgrades. Your heal kits turn into aid kits. Mega kits turn into trauma kits, which will heal all your party for 200 hit points.
Yeah, so for people who might want to play this game casually and like are really turned off by it, I found it's like if you just keep like a very moderate stockpile of healing items, you'll be fine, honestly, because you can heal multiple times a turn, and it's really, I mean, it's really not. I found it's just how I found I was able to get through this game just by having lots of healing items and just you don't even really have to use the pet system that much. It's like you can group some enemies together with the meat and then just use multi-target attacks. That does help. And as
Go
for
for
the drag. Oh, if you have to pick one.
Go for the what?
the confused shrooms.
Oh, okay,
The sleepy
so-
shrooms, when the enemies eat them, they won't move because they'll be asleep. So you'll have to wake them up with charge shot.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
I found that out when I was trying to reroute 1/4. I was like, let's get sleepy shrooms, and everyone's just standing there, and I'm like,
It seemed like a good. Oh, he got the best XP drop.
Yeah.
I got
240. So he'll be level 8 for the Cyclops fight, which is good.
I think I was only level.
Nice.
Was that a blade?
I mean, I guess. Sorry, normally it's level 8.
Yeah, he got level 8 with a little bit to spare.
Okay. Oh, I like the. Is it Gobi in the middle?
Yes.
Yeah. I remember something from Breath of Fire 1. I think that. Yeah, that was 1. Yeah. There was a frog in 2, not a fish. My knowledge of the other Breath of Fire games is actually pretty limited. I played through the first one completely, played a little of the second one, played a little of the third one, played a little of the fourth one. I haven't really. I don't know. They just didn't capture me the same way, I guess. So I'm not a real Breath of Fire fan. I was gonna say earlier, like if you just have a lot of healing items, and you honestly don't really have to use the dragon form until the regions. Honestly, if you want to like be super conservative, and then you get to the regions, and then you should just go.
Yeah.
This game is it's not as hard as you might think it is.
One saving grace of this game is you can heal as many times as you want in a turn.
Yeah.
Like we were
Yeah, I
talking
mentioned
about
that.
earlier, which does cut down on the difficulty quite a bit. Just that, and what I found a lot of times playing casually is when you pick up the equip drops, because they don't stack.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden you have like 30 meat, 30 bombs, and you have 4 pages full of equips that you're trying to get for money, and then you're kind of tossing up your inventory spaces between X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
So
But
it
it's
does,
worth it because
Oh, yeah.
then you have all the money for healing items, which is just like I said, just buy all the healing items you can, and then you'll be fine. And just save your dragon powers for the region, pretty much, and onward, and you'll be fine. That's basically how I got through the game. I didn't have much strategy. I just kind of like fought every battle I could just to make sure I had enough experience, and like I would group enemies together with fresh meat, and then just use group attacks. And it's not that bad.
nice kill, Genya.
Okay, let's see how we're gonna do this then.
Now it's D-dash time.
So-
It must make low dive a lot of fun because you get the D-dash all day.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
So you'll see the icon in the corner ever since you got the dragon. So right now Ryu hasn't fully linked with the dragon, so you can D-dash freely without any consequences at this point. So this is where we have a lot of fun with it, because it's a nice time save, and it's something we can use really without consequence.
Yeah, and
So-
it's as far as little touches in this game. Before you have the link fully, before you can get the counter, your hexagon is very light blue, and the cube is very small. And the thing in this game is, like, when you use D-dash for an extensive period of time and the diminishing returns start to kick in, the color starts to darken to the next color. So, like, so you'll see that it starts to turn a darker blue, and the cube turns a little darker red. So that like indicates the diminished returns that will kick in later on when you have the D counter. What's weird is, like, before the D counter kicks in, that cube is smaller, but when you have the D counter, even at like 2.1%, the cube is still bigger. I don't know, these little touches are interesting to me.
Okay, so I guess I can already see why the sleepy shrooms are kind of bad.
Oh no!
Well, it's good if you can get them all asleep in one area. You can just place a bomb and then whack them.
So what you do, so for these spiders, casually, what I do, I think they do want you to do is use Nina's G flares because they do it because the spiders are weak to fire, and they have like really basic AI. So like, and you can use Kick and Out of My Way to knock them into G flares too. So it's like that's kind of how the early games goes when you play casually. But like, if you really take advantage of the pet system, you can do some really amazing setups. Like
I think the one
saw
got
earlier.
again.
No, you're gonna get 3.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the one of them. That's fine though. What I'm gonna do is just like.
So someone in chat just said their first Dragon Quarter one was intense, determined to beat this game in one try. That is how I approach this game because I'm kind of a masochist, especially back then. I was really a huge masochist, and I tried to beat this game without using the soul system. So if I lost, I would just start from square one.
Yeah,
I found the game more rewarding that way.
What I want to do is clearly not working.
There you go.
I kind of want them all in one room, but I kind of can't really do it properly. It's kind of a stupid situation right now. Ah, man, this is going splendidly, as usual.
Alright.
I think I could have gotten it.
How much faith do you have right now?
That worked? I think it worked.
This room can be a bit.
I don't know how it works, but...
Go one against the wall. When you get them all into that other room, and you can get them separated, there you go. Run against the other wall, and then put a meat against it.
Yeah, it's
Got it, I think.
Yeah.
usually what I do. But like one of them
Alright.
kept following me for no reason. I don't know. It's just
Yeah, they in this pattern, they'll all follow you, whereas in the other formation, they kind of just wander about randomly. I don't really like that one, especially since that sixth one can join the party if it wants to, which is
yeah,
rare,
it's the one
but
where
it
they
happens.
fall from the ceiling or what.
Yeah. So what I started doing, dying for that room when you usually get 5 and then 3. And
Yeah.
that sixth one can sometimes troll you. Is like I'm just kind of turning my camera before I start the battle just to make sure it isn't sneaking up on me.
Now you just go in blind and hope for the best.
That's what I used to do, but it's like, you know what? That small chance that sixth one crashes the party. It's like I don't feel like losing it all here. Some Haichis here in case you need to refuel, I guess, after the spider fight and before the next boss. There's a big Haichi there. You can just set on fire if you want to cook your meal and get a better healing kit. I like how that works. Just the implication. It's like, oh, you're cooking your meal. It's getting better, even though it's just a healing kit, which doesn't make sense, but not whatever. I just love all the little touches in this game. It's like it's very focused on gameplay, but there are a lot of little, really clever touches in this game.
Should have maybe gotten the safe. I should have probably got the safe token. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can go back.
Oh yeah, that's what I actually want.
Unless you already started the fight.
But apparently, I don't know how cameras work in this game. So.
The inverted camera ruined a lot of games for me because I'm so used to pushing left to go right and right to go left.
Oh, that's completely normal for me. That's how I got used. That's the style I got used to. I don't know what games did it, but that's how I got used to. That's just what I'm used to. You can't even change the camera in this game, can you?
No.
Can you? Oh, that sucks. Well, I guess I have the advantage here. I'm always a fan of inverted camera.
So here we're just gonna sell our shields for a little bit of extra money, just to make the next shopping segment not so tight.
Yeah, because he'll need to buy more bombs and stuff before Duke Battlers if he doesn't have enough bombs. So selling your spear here is good, especially since so we talk about how we unequip the shields to get more speed, which is or more AP for Nina. we also unequip the armor, and we never really explained why we do that. I've never really talked about it with these guys. But the reason I do it, or the reason I picked up on it, is because armor in this game, at least the starting armor, increases your movement stat, which is that green ring that appears around your characters.
Oh, that's a problem.
The more movement stat you have, the bigger that ring is, and the less time. And you can't do anything until that ring fully expands or constricts.
That is actually a huge problem.
Tracks.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. Nice, this is going splendidly. Alright, I cannot even do that. Hold on, what can I actually do other than just reset right now?
You can either reset, or you can buy a lot of bombs, throw bombs at the Duke battlers to reduce their hit points. That'll save about 1%. You can use a G-Flare and Hey on the 3 Rangers to not...
Yeah, but Lin is dead, that's the problem.
No, I'm saying like the battle's coming up. Like you can adjust your D counter by just doing a couple of backup strats later on. But I don't know at this point how much...
I'm not sure the G-Flares will even work now.
Yeah, that's the thing.
No, you're better off not even using them.
But they're not lined up either. That's bad. But if you want a number, like for de-breathing Bosch with no G-Flares, you want to go to 2.8%.
The thing is, I cannot even get them all in one shot.
Right? Yeah. I'm just saying.
I'm really contemplating just resetting right now because this is already.
We will stick with you the whole way, so you don't mind.
This is already so messed up. I don't even know what to do right now. Like I cannot kill the other one. Like this is not gonna work, right?
I'd restart Genya. Your D counter is gonna be probably.
It is gonna be messed up, yeah.
5 or 6. It will be rather high for such an early part in the run.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Right, screw that.
All right.
It's no problem. It's no problem. I got time. You know, it's easy. It's easy.
You can. Yeah, you can. That's one way to do it. It's just
that.
2 different D-breaths.
Boom. Yeah, nice. Perfect. That works. All right. Welcome to my Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter run.
Let's play.
Yeah, let's play for playing through this for the first time. I literally have never seen them snipe Lin though. I don't even know. Like that.
No, that's weird because the last time I watched you play this, they attacked her as well. The gunner did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very rare. I wonder if it's an emulator thing.
Did the gunner run up into the platform or run to the side? If the gunner runs up, it goes out of range of Ryu, so it ends up attacking Lin.
That's so weird. Like David said last night, the AI is very weird in this game. And what's weird to me is that situation where the gunner will attack Lin is extremely rare to me. And I've seen it happen to Genya twice, and I'm wondering if it's an emulator thing.
Could be. I actually thought they were almost bound to always hit Nina with the other one.
Yeah, I mean, usually the fighter hits Lin, and then the gunner tries to hit Ryu for no damage, which is, I think, what's supposed to happen. I'm wondering what's intended at this point because of how weird the AI is. So I wanted to finish my thought from earlier. The reason we unequip the armor as well as the shield is because it reduces their movement stat, which reduces that little green ring around them. So it actually saves frames over the course of the run for Nina and Ryu. It's not really worth taking off of Lin because she gets so few turns as it is, and her green ring is very small as it is. So since you're in the menus unequipping your shield, you may as well unequip your armor just to save some frames in the long run.
So, now that I showed off what you can all do wrong in the first 15 minutes of the game, I want to say that can't go much worse. Dang, that was... well, I mean, I never really expected that fight to go any wrong. Like, I was...
Yeah, I don't know why that...
I mean,
yeah,
what can possibly go wrong in that fight, right?
That's a very rare... I mean... I've seen that happen like twice or 3 times in my experience playing this game, speedrunning it at least, and that's only, yeah. And this stream is buffering. Oh wait, there it goes, it's fine.
That's fine. If like on a good player that would only be like, I don't know, 10 minutes maybe.
So someone talking about Breath of Fire 6 in the chat, and I think it's interesting because regarding Breath of Fire 5, they said if they were going to make a Breath of Fire 6, they would use Breath of Fire 5's battle system. And
Really?
yeah,
Oh.
yeah, they did.
Sick.
Like maybe they wanted to experiment with it more because it's a pretty interesting system. And well, I guess those people probably left Capcom by that by the point that by the time they made a Breath of Fire 6, which is a mobile game that's free, and you build based. I don't know what you do in it, or what you did in it. I guess it's past tense now.
Alright, now I can finally get the nugget room.
Honestly, I think Breath of Fire is dead, you know, in the water at this point. Like, I think it's lucky we even got a Breath of Fire 6, regardless of its quality. And then why did they shut down the servers? Was it just not doing well?
I guess it was just a complete disaster. What a surprise.
Who would have thought?
I know, right? I don't know.
And so, from what I understand, they stopped making Breath of Fire games just because RPGs weren't that popular at the time, or they were like kind of dying down. So I guess that's why they kind of just followed the money, I guess. Which is why they're doing so well right now.
Yeah, they just try to cash in on the mobile gacha or the mobile money.
Like, it's funny. It's when talking about Breath of Fire 6, it's like, well, at least 5 was a good game. like people will disagree with me on that, but this game is very solid. Like, just maybe not as a Breath of Fire game, maybe not as a casual game, but it's a very solid game. Like, it has a lot of polish, and like everything feels like it has purpose, and just it feels like it was made with care and attention. Like, regardless of how you feel about the game, like that's a fact. Well, at least you got the good bat room this time.
It's true. But we got the nugget room. Did I win now?
No. There are some mobile games that I've heard are pretty decent, like Puzzles and Dragons, Final Fantasy, Record Keeper. Pokemon Go is whatever. It's that hype died down, and rightfully so, because that game hasn't really gone anywhere.
I think I knocked them back. No, that should be fun actually.
And I don't really know what the term whale is in this context. Like,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
does that mean? Is that just people who have a lot of money who just throw all their money at mobile games? Whale is a casino term for those who bet large amounts and are profit sources. Fair enough.
Isn't it what?
I almost bet money on Pokemon Go, but like I just had to wait and see if they added more cool content, and they never did. They just added more Pokemon and like nothing else to do with them. They still haven't put in battling aside from, you know, raids and gyms, which aren't really battling other people. You're just battling NPCs, and trading still isn't a thing, which is, you know, a Here we go. Oh. There's Genya, if you've never seen him before. And again, his picture has been there for
Nice.
like the last 30 hours. It's a little off center. It's okay, Jin. This face will be part of the overlay forever. I got a kick out of that. I really like that.
I like the overlay though. Like
Yeah, it's
in
pretty good.
general.
And I'm guessing, I guess it's not all Breath of Fire 2 characters. It's because that's Breath of Fire 3 Ryu, right?
Actually, I haven't looked at it.
I was gonna say it made sense considering this is the second relay, but if that's Ryu 3, then that doesn't make much sense. Team Nina, I mean, I know we had a soft lock. I don't know. I'm guessing it was Breath of Fire 1.
Yeah, we had 2 soft locks in Breath of Fire 1.
Hmm.
But that's common, so
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. So, with like a 10-minute deficit, I didn't have any way of pulling us back ahead, unfortunately.
well, we basically treat the run as if it would have finished normally. Like it's not a 10-minute penalty. It's just like wait 10 minutes because that's that's roughly the time that you would have to play in order to finish the game from that point. Because there's like zero RNG from there on. Oh! Sick, yo!
Did you bump into a Haichi?
No.
Oh.
I found both a power meal and a power boost.
Ooh!
Pretty good.
Do you want me to give you the notes for the Cyclops?
What you mean with power boost or what?
Yeah.
I think if those are still correct, I should have it. But
Okay. I was just gonna like give you help you through that if you needed it.
No, can't identify yet.
Some is like if you just tell me what level you are, I can help.
I'm just currently trying to figure out how many stuff I'm gonna buy, but
Oh.
I guess 2 bombs is enough for now.
2 bombs is the minimum that you should have at this point, so you're fine.
I don't want to sell the power meal or the power boost, so.
Oh, you're gonna sell them?
No, I did not want to. Should I?
I mean, I would say sell the power meal, but not the power boost.
Yeah, whatever. Too late. That's okay though.
Oh, so level 6 then.
Level 7.
Oh. I must have gotten extra experience from the nuggets and a drop or something.
Maybe, I don't know.
So do you want me to read off the stuff you should do for level 7 power boost? Or do you want to
just end turn?
Starting your own? Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
first turn is end turn.
He'll use power
second
boost.
Turn is... Yeah, I mean, you don't have to heal at level 7, but if you want to be safe, go for it. But, use 2 power boost, do slice for / death bringer times 2.
Wait, what, isn't it normal like slice, vert, death bringer?
With level 7 power boost, you don't want to do as much damage because then you'll put it into rage phase.
So what do you want to do instead?
So turn 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so use your power boost, and then
Dead.
do slice, vert slash, and then 2 death bringers.
Oh, okay.
And heal if you need to.
I think we're gonna still put him into that crit probably hurt.
Oh, if you got a crit, you should hold back on a death bringer, but it might be too late now.
It's okay. That's whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be whatever.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, he's enraged. That's fine, Noah.
Yeah. and then at this point you can probably just
Do
go all out.
anything.
And, yeah.
Alright, let's do this for real this time. Let me quickly see. Okay. How many armies?
Nice.
Got him. Everyone else disqualified, yes, because we needed 5 people for the relay, but Genya didn't, so he wins.
Automatically.
You got the save token box, but that's still good. If you want to be
Yeah, I guess.
extra safe, especially after what happened last time. Yes, they did release a Breath of Fire mobile game, Breath of Fire 6, and after a year they shut it down because of how bad it was. Oh right, I forgot Fire Emblem Heroes is another popular mobile game right now that is probably decent. I don't know, I figured because people are it sounded pretty good.
Wait, what?
Uh-oh.
Who?
Spiders.
Actually,
Something. I think spiders happen.
No, it's fine, but I don't like. Some of them just didn't. Wait, what?
got
Where did
the,
that? What? Where did that come
You
from?
got the more erratic rooms.
Oh, I see. But where did the
walk,
fifth one
walk
come
around.
from?
Oh. Yeah. You got 4 of them. Oh wait, the next part. Okay.
This guy gets unconfused at any point?
Your character or the enemy?
No, the enemy.
Once you him in battle.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just gonna.
You got the 3 of them there. Throw a shroom to get them out of there.
I already got it.
Oh, sorry, I'm behind.
Oh wow, we were more behind. I thought it was like 10
Improvised
but it was more like
strats.
20 something.
Rip that chest. Rip the other chest as well.
Oh. Did you not grab the equipment drop?
But there were so many enemies around there.
You can just knock them out of the way with the D-dash. And you can even just like hold your D-dash just to make sure you were safe.
There is
and then grab it.
this one here, right?
Yeah. Wait, which one?
The room with the big giant thing. You're gonna see it eventually.
Yeah. Oh, the backup one. Right. Mobius Final Fantasy? Is there another Final Fantasy, or does it have a different name for Record Keeper or something?
There's Record Keeper, there's Brave Exodus, there's Mobius.
Wow, I didn't realize there were more Final Fantasy mobile games. Ooh.
Okay, both Lynn and Nina are full health points. There's like literally nothing that can go wrong here, right?
Are you gonna save? Well, if they're at full health, then you'll be fine. Surely. Best part of the relay is the end.
Oh.
Apparently.
Alright, Alright, we can do this. We can do this. Easy, easy.
Nice drop. So this is part of the game's storyline where Ryu starts linking with the dragon.
Yeah, he got stabbed in the throat, so
Backstab.
First he gets stabbed in like the knee or just his leg, and then Bosch stabbed in the throat. Very memorable scenes in this game. A lot of people like carry that from them, even if they don't finish the game. It's like probably the thing that stands out the most. That scene.
I think it was just graphic and you weren't expecting it.
Yeah, this game gets pretty messed up.
It does, definitely. Okay, so hooray, Luna's alive. What a great thing to have.
The run can commence.
Push.
I noticed
That was
you
actually-
went. I was gonna say you went pretty forward with Nita, but I guess you still got all the G players left, so that's fine. Because actually, if you press R1 and you haven't done anything with your character, it'll reset their position back to where they started.
Did I
If
really
you
just
ever-
mess this up again? Come on, this can't be.
Move back
That works. That works.
diagonally a little bit. There you go.
Oh, you got him. Good.
No. Oh yeah.
Although I'm not sure about this alignment. Is this line good?
It's yeah. It
No,
works,
it's not.
It is. It is.
Oh,
yeah,
does it?
nice.
Okay.
Nice deep breath, Jenya.
But that's like I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing.
Doesn't matter. We're past it. We're past this finally. 2.2 is not bad.
So if you wanna save on your D counter, you can spend the money you have banked and buy extra bombs, and then you can throw bombs at the dukes when they're bunched up to lower the hit points of the battler slowly, so you don't have to use as much D breath if you want to bank some for earlier on.
Yeah, if you want the extra conservative. I'm like the opposite of conservative
So,
stuff.
first of all, I'm gonna save here because why not?
Sure. You have like extra save tokens. Yeah, 4. That's really good.
So at this part of the game storyline, Bosch was sent to try to get the special package off you, which is Nina. And he ends up attacking you. And he ends up running away. Which kind of is the reoccurring theme to Bosch. And if you've played it casually and you've read his dialogue and that, he boasts himself quite a bit. Because he has such a high D ratio, especially being 1/64, where he thinks he's going to be this great warrior, but you'll see him turning into be such a coward and just running away battle after battle after battle.
It's actually a good reflection on society.
Yeah.
The entire thing. Man, this is such a deep game, really. No, but really though, like compared to I mean, obviously this is completely different, but it's, I don't know, it's so much fun to speedrun this game despite me completely failing at everything. But it's like, especially if you have speedrun the other games in the series, this is just so different, and at least for me, it's so exciting. Oh man, I got the bad one. It's okay though. Oh!
Oh, hello. Oh crap.
Okay, though.
Nice duking.
Where's this guy going though? Let's see, go there. And there.
Yeah,
I think I got everyone right? Yeah.
Lynn's special ability. Each character has a unique ability they can do on the overworld, how I like to call it. So Ryu has the D dash once he's linked to the dragon. Nina, if you push the R2 button, what will happen is it's an item vacuum. Place 2 now.
I'm not sure if that's too far away.
No,
but that's
pick them up.
too late.
Be able to run.
Oh, really? In there. I actually get the little ones, so on the big ones I can just grab them.
Alright. So Nina's special ability is she will suck in all the items around her within a certain radius. So especially in a frozen road area where there's a lot of catwalks, if you kill an enemy above an empty space, at least you still have a way to get the item. And then Lynn's ability is the charge shot. Now you can hold the R2 to have her nice deep breath.
I think that was a bit
can
too
hold-
much,
You can hold the R2 so she locks on to an enemy, and then the longer you hold the triangle, the more it'll charge up and push that enemy further away. So it's kind of neat how each character has their own set role in the game, also in battle and also outside of battle.
Yeah, although, so it starts out, Ryu's more of like the tank, Nina has magic and traps, Lynn is more utility. However, by the end of the game, if you're playing more casually conservatively, Lynn becomes more of the damage dealer, and Nina becomes a battery for both Ryu and Lynn.
Appraise the heavy suits first, Jenya.
God, where's the... There it is.
And then go back and buy the rest of your bombs.
I usually do that down there below, but
Oh, sorry.
I've mentioned to him that this is the better way of doing it.
yeah, which I guess
Okay.
makes sense.
I just seen him shopping here, so.
That should be enough for now.
So in this room coming up, if you're playing casually, is where you get access to the fairy dungeon, which is, from what I believe, I haven't played a lot of the other Breath of Fire games, but it's a reoccurring mini game, like the fairy colony.
In my opinion, this is the best one, though.
This is a lot of fun. I like controlling the ants. So you have a chance. You have ants that start working for you, and you can make rooms. Rooms that if you want to get all the soundtrack, if you want to get the soundtrack for the game, you can make a music auditorium. You can make shops to buy weapons for Ryu, Lin, Nina, skills, banks. You can raise nuggets to sell. It's a nice little fun mini game, and it carries over to every new game.
And there's also Kokan Hore.
Yep, and also the secret dungeon.
Yeah, and the secret dungeon is where I mean, that's where it basically goes. I mean, a lot of people probably don't even know that there is a secret dungeon, but there's more to this game than what you might initially think. Let's put it
You'll
that
see
way.
in 90%. There are a lot of side areas that we don't visit, and there's the fairy colony as a whole in Kokan Hore.
I totally forgot about Kokan until I started rerouting 1/4. I was like, oh man, I didn't even know this was here.
It's crazy because it's a crazy amount of like extra battles and situations and everything. So like from a speedrunning perspective, it's a lot of extra routing, and it sounds like a lot of fun to just route all of those rooms.
Oh, especially because when you start it off at level 1.
And 0 D counter.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool because you kind of get effectively 200% dragon abilities. But there's no shops. You can go back to the surface every 5 floors, but there's no, so every item you take with you on the journey is the only items you have. But there's also a big downside where if you die in the secret dungeon, you lose every item in your inventory.
But you don't like game over or anything, do you?
No, you just, well, if you've got 20 golden eggs and you got a tracker and a bunch of power boosts for 7 senses, and you die, you lose everything. You start at the fairy colony with no items in your inventory.
And you can take items into that, right?
Yep.
So you lose those too?
Yep.
Oh.
So that's why in 1/4 it's generally just a run over right there.
Sure, I mean, yeah.
But so the stories, since we didn't really get to a lot to it during the regular relay, the 3 rangers end up being sent to capture Lynn after Bosch failed. So they end up knocking over a bottle of poison, and then we're just contaminating the air around it. So that's where you first seen Nina's ability, or Nina's purpose, I guess, in this game, is she uses the wings on her back are actually an air purification system, parts with other part of her bodies that have been modified. So she ends up cleaning the air, but it also leaves her pretty weak. And if you're playing casually, if you looked at her wings, they would have little red specks on them. And then after this battle, they start to turn grayish.
You actually don't have to play casually, because in the Bosch fight, if you use like G flares and stuff, you'll see the powder come up for wings when she casts.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, powder, when she casts magic, you can see the powder on her wings, so you'll see them regardless of speedrun or not. And then later on, they'll be all dusty. Well, yeah.
Reset, Genya.
No, I got one.
Not the run, just the penalty retreat.
Oh, nice trap.
Yeah, it's like sometimes they work that way. Wait, where did I trap him?
Oh yeah, the kind of.
I still kind of want to go for the second one, but I don't know.
The kind of phages in this formation they just do what they want. There is no way to manipulate them. They don't even react to your presence. They just kind of do what they want, as opposed to on the other formation, it just kind of sits there and will only run away if you get close to it.
If you go for the second one, you'll probably need to buy prox bombs before Frozen Roads.
Wait, why?
Oh, he might not have the 7 bombs for the Igoose for the cleaner.
Oh yeah.
He might not have the 8 for the Frozen Road, and then later on also.
I guess I got 21 bombs. So. I thought that was a lot.
Oh no, yeah, you're still over the amount.
21.
He should have 20 at this point, so he's still got enough.
Oh yeah.
So, the Canophage, the good room. Basically, you just run up, you throw 2 bombs, you shoot them, and that's it. The room Genya got, to me, it's a little stressful, just because you don't know which direction they're gonna move.
Yeah,
if they line themselves up with your character, it's very hard to keep track of them on where they are. And they're also quite dangerous because they will generally always outspeed you. So hit by one.
They'll take like 2 turns.
Yeah. So if you get hit and both of them are in it, the one that attacked you will hit, and then both of them will hit you after that. So if you didn't heal up after the poison fight, or both your characters were poisoned and lost all their hit points, you can get battered down very quickly.
Yeah. So the most consistent way of doing that room is you run up to the Conophages where they start, You throw your bombs, you enter battle, and then you penalty retreat to reset the room, and then you go back and then shoot them where the bombs are. And hopefully they haven't moved by that point, and then you can just blow them both up, including the yellow slime, so you have a chance at the plasma maze for free, and or jolt.
Yeah, so the general gist of them is basically you want to kill them with just the bomb, basically without hitting them. I think the way they work is that they basically yield 10,000 gold points, and every time you hit them, it gets halved.
Yeah, every time you
But the bombs don't really count as physical hits.
we're still trying to figure out how that works, because so if you do multiple slices in a combo, does it reduce the money every hit?
Yes. Every time you hit.
That I guess because bombs technically hit all at the same frame, they all count as one hit.
That's what I'm thinking, because if you do like slice light versus slash, you'll get the message that shows up that says the gold is being shaved away, and that message.
After every hit.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's just an anomaly with the bombs because they all hit in one frame, I guess. And if you kill it before the decay can set in, then you just get your 10,000.
So this is one of the few shops in the games, like I was saying earlier, that all the shops have random setups.
Oh crap,
This
I wanted
shop-
to save. Oh, goddammit. No, go ahead, sorry.
Oh, this shop and the last shop before Elion are the only two shops that will always sell the same item. So you'll see that Genya bought the Plasma Macer +1. So in this game,
The antenna.
oh, you bought the antenna also?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And he bought the antenna. But the Plasma Macer, the weapons have a plus value at the end of it. So for offensive gear, for every plus it gets, you get 3 magic and 3 attack on top of its base damage. And defensive gear works with defense and movement in the same way. Your speed is set. It doesn't matter if it's +1 or +9. It will always give the same speed just because of the weight.
Yeah, your speed is determined by the weight of the weapon. And anything else you have equipped. So, yeah, so going out of your way to that shop is slower than optimal, but the nice thing about it is yeah, you get the +1 Plasma Mazer, which would be 3 points stronger than the Sapphire Mazer if you went that route, and just counted on the Igus dropping the weapon. I got 4 of them because of course I did. Because like I was already so behind at that point, the game was like, you know what, have 4 of them. If what we used to do is buy the antenna. We don't really do that anymore because we can just get either Jolt or Frost and Fire Blast, because Fire Blast is guaranteed every time you kill Baphomet later on.
Makes sense.
So the Plasma Macer just makes Asimov and Zeno, 2 of the bosses coming up, just a little more consistent. You can do it with the Sapphire Macer. You can do it with the Ranger Edge.
Ranger Edge is a lot of fun. If you don't get any swords, if you don't get the Plasma Mazer +1, if you don't get the Plasma Mazer from the Igu at Kanaphage, if you don't get the Sapphire Mazer drops from these blue slimes, you are stuck with your default Ranger Edge, which can be a run killer, quite literally. You're a lot slower, your damage is a lot lower, and your weapon power actually does transfer over to the Dragon form, which gets multiplied by B-Charge. You don't get the element though, so even with the Sapphire Mazer or Plasma Mazer, the element doesn't transfer over, but they are still stronger than the Ranger Edge, so you always try to get one of them. And they make the upcoming fights a lot easier, if not possible, because sometimes if you have the Ranger Edge, then Tantra will just kill your party, or even Zeno. So,
it's also a nice backup for the Danger Room because the bats take 150% damage from electric.
Oh, you mean in this room?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
having Plasma Mazer gives you a bit of. I guess that is the elemental advantage. If you have Plasma Mazer, you do more damage to the bats. But even if you have Sapphire Mazer, it's fine. You'll still kill that last one.
But you can't appraise it because you just got it in the room before.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
So
that's like a good advantage when you're starting out running this game.
But overall, I'm just happy that that was a decent.
Oh no, that was a
room.
very good. That was the
Oh
frozen.
yeah, I forgot to
room.
comment on that. You got that.
That's,
That room can be tricky, but the key to it is honestly just wait for the bats to drop before throwing your meat, and honestly,
Yeah.
it plays out the same every time. Aside from the way the enemies group up at the end, you just have to be careful not to bump into them. And honestly, it's really easy once you get the hang of it. So now I was going to buy prox bombs, which are very important for the danger rooms for the rest of the game. They do, I guess they do as much damage as bombs do, right? Normal bombs? Nine?
Procs do the same.
Yeah.
Within
The
within a decent variance, they'll do the
Yeah.
same. But the procs.
Okay. But the advantage of them is that you can use them outside of battle much faster than with normal bombs. You can just place them down one after the other. They just do hit after hit very fast, very good at a lot faster.
You don't have to hit the enemy with them. They'll explode in a radius where if where the bombs have to come into contact with an enemy.
Yeah, that's too. They just have to be close enough that they trigger the proximity explosion. As with bombs, yeah, you have to hit him directly, and throwing them is a lot slower. So we buy all these prox bombs for the rest of the run, and then we use normal bombs to finish them off in battle, which do a lot more damage in battle.
With prox bombs, they also have a unique ability where if you position yourself appropriately between you and your enemy, you can actually get 2 hits out of one bomb.
If you
Because
space yourself out, because of, I guess, the active frames for the first explosion are still there, I guess?
It does it in a 2-step wave motion. So it'll attack the first, say, 1 meter out, but then it'll go on for a second one because it pushes that brink where because the knockback pushes them out of the explosion range, but then they come back into it.
They refresh their vulnerability state, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's very useful because you can take D-Gun down with only 15 prox bombs. After watching Romado, I was like, he bought 40, and then he was able to use like so few, because normally people would buy 50 before then. I'm not sure everyone knew about the double hits exploit, and so I was able to bring it down to 30 because I think Romado just bought 40 for safety, and I was like, wait, why can't we just do this with 30? And so I started doing 30, and so it's all that money saved is really, really important because you can afford the Mendo Blade +1 at mid-sector mall if it's there. So yeah, I realized like that Mendo Blade, we need to have enough money for that, so I just bought 30 and just figured out the double hit stuff. So I would only had to use 15 for D-Gun, and then the 12 for the bats, which leaves me with like 3 left over. I use 1 of them for Power 1, and I have like 2 extra in case I mess up. So yeah, now we're in storage, which became my favorite part of the run. When I watched Romado do this, he had the cleaner strats, and then after doing it for a while, I was like, wait, there are a lot of times where I don't even have to use kick because of the turn order just happened to line up that way. And I'm like, can I figure out a way to do this without kick? And I just drilled it on emulator over and over, and I figured it out. I feel like that's my biggest accomplishment, is just optimizing that and making it really consistent.
The storage battle's a very RNG heavy battle, just because some of the enemies can choose to, the one gunner, the ones that's not in the lineup, can completely choose just to like run the other way. Like he's kind of like, I'm gonna fight you.
Yeah.
He's like, nope, I'm heading to the door. See you later.
For like every time I watch him wait to take his turn, I'm like, he's gonna run away. He's gonna do it. He wants to do it, and then he never does. Until like I just stop thinking about it, and then he runs away. It's very rare, but it happens because the AI in this game is very interesting.
You kind of want to line them up in one line so you can breath them all. I think I didn't over breathe it.
I think you did like what 780.
Yeah.
That's okay. I mean, you're playing very conservative, so you should be fine.
So, in the storage battle, the antenna's a good weapon to buy because it comes pre-threaded with 2 abilities, Jolt and Lightning. Lightning attacks in a small pattern, but the antenna weapon itself is kind of like your Pyromania, where it gives an additional 5% of damage to all electric abilities. So if you have enemies in a lineup, or if you have 70 AP and you want to be conservative, you can go Jolt Lightning, so you get an additional 10% on top of the 5%. So it's just little things on taking advantage of the elemental weapons, just to give yourself a little bit more damage.
Yeah, the antenna actually has a very slight advantage because the Jolt also has that elemental bonus, which isn't huge because it's just Jolt, but if you go antenna over Pyromania, you have that 5% advantage. It's something, but I don't recommend, if you're going for better time, to not buy the antenna at all and save your money for the Mando Blade.
That perfect.
The antenna does have one of the fastest speeds for Nina, so
really?
Casually it's
It's lighter than the Pyromania?
Yeah, by a lot.
To be fair, Nina is already a super fast character, so...
Oh yeah.
She'll always go first, unless she dies twice during the storage gauntlet, then Ryu will go first, but otherwise she always goes first.
So,
sorry, no, go ahead, my thing wasn't important.
With Asimov, the reason if we have to kill him with the D-Breath is when you bring him down to 0 hit points, when you're playing casually, he goes into a self-destruct mode, which for 3 turns he's invincible, and after the 3 turns he'll explode.
I'm not sure if he's invincible or he just halves damage, because even your D-Breath does half damage that it normally would, so I'm just guessing that it halves damage all the way down to 0. I would mean that would make sense to me, but I mean,
just round down.
Yeah, that's my assumption, because it would be easier than just coding it. Also, nice crits. Like on both Asimov and Zeno, that's very good. Yeah, because it would make more sense from a programming standpoint to just half all damage down to 0 than to make it invincible to everything but dragon damage and also half dragon damage. I don't know, maybe they did that. I can't tell you though, so I can only assume. Asimov is a very important fight because depending on how much damage you do, you will have to use more or less D-Breath, which changes the D-counter route a bit, and you have to adjust. You get to play more conservative if you have to use more D-Breath, and you can, you'll have more freedom if you end up critting it like Jinya did, or just doing enough damage to take it to self-destruct, and then you finish it off with like 1 frame of D-Breath, which is just 0.5. The worst is when you have the Ranger Edge and you don't crit it, and you have to, and your D-Breath would cost more than just a Vortex, so you just do a Vortex, and your D-counter becomes extremely tight. And yeah, the Sapphire Mesa route kind of sucks, but it's worth it. I swear. Thanks for Mato for enlightening us. And also crits are extremely important if you're going for a very good time, like 51, 52. Crits, Bosch 2 saves the most potential time, because if you get the Buster Sword or even nothing from midsection model, you absolutely need a crit on Bosch 2, or else you're going to lose like 40 seconds. Crits on Zeno and Tantra are very good, but not as costly if you have to finish them off with cooldown.
If you're grinding out a real good time, this game can be grueling. If you're just looking for something to casually play for speedrun, or you just want a route to just quickly beat the game for for whatever reason. It is a fun game. It's once you want to go past 55, 56, 54 in game time, it's really grueling, but getting times lower than that when they happen is also very rewarding.
Yeah.
So it's just it's just
Go
how much you
ahead.
want to invest into a game.
Yeah. What's nice about this game is, like, regardless of how you want to play, like, there's nothing that, like, absolutely stops you from completing a run. Like, you can play conservative and be able to finish with a reasonable time. It's not like you have to reset because you got bad XP or something. So I can hear the bats from over the microphone because they're that loud. But what I really like about this game is that it's really, you can, if you know what you're doing, you can finish any run. Unless you're playing Super Recipe, you're going for like a 51. But even then, like, again, like, your run can only truly die if you spend too much D-counter. Yeah, that actually is the true run killer, is if you use too much D-counter, because you can't even finish.
Yeah, that happened to me a couple times lately.
Yeah, but other than that, you can always finish your run. This game is it's a very good entry-level RPG, RNG game. Like, if you want to play a game that has RNG, this is a good starting point. If you want to play an RPG, a speedrun on RPG, this is a very good starting point because it's so short, and the RNG is pretty lenient. Like, it's not like Pokemon where if you get a bad start, you might be resetting on the rival and gold, silver, forever. I don't know. I can't say for sure. I just know I've watched a lot of that game. That game is extremely grueling, and I really respect the runners of that game who put up with that stuff.
This game kind of acts like its own randomizer, in the fact that each floor has two different layouts. Within those two different layouts, the box layouts, there are some that are set and there's some that aren't.
Yeah,
and each box has a list of 5 to 6 different items that could drop. So you're never, unless even if you start from a continue from the beginning of the game, you're never gonna have the same run with the same drops twice.
Yeah.
So it's the enemy patterns. There are tricks when you first enter the floor to tell you what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
So
Every room has little hints, like because of the enemies are in different places. If you see an enemy in a single loaded room, you'll know what the rest of the room is going to be like. So that's what I mean by this game having very good entry-level RNG adaptation and like stuff like that. There are very few rooms that don't change, which is the Frozen Road Danger Room, and the Power 1 Danger Room, aside from the boxes. The boxes do change, but the enemy formation does not.
Probably should have charged them, huh? Oh, okay.
Obviously D-Gun doesn't change, even though it's technically a Danger Room, but that's a mini-boss, so they're not really going to change that, I guess.
Just twist her twice and then finish normally.
Yeah, that's what I did now. I wanted to save like a little bit here. I thought I was high enough level that I could just finish them all with 2 twisters.
No,
that's you need a deep breath. Your D counter was really low, so you should have just went with the D charge 1 twister.
I think you forgot about the charge.
Oh.
No, I actually wanted to.
Oh.
Like, yeah, it was probably a bad idea.
He's not. Just by the way the damage values work, because when you don't charge, the twister that does 3 times attack is only 1.5. So that it's more of not the damage you're producing, it's just more of the damage of ranges that it hits.
Fine, yeah.
This is gonna be bad.
No, it's not.
Oh wait, Nina didn't get hit, and neither did Len. This can be very bad though. Tantra 2 especially.
I don't know, I might be a little bit damaged because like almost all of my runs that I've done lately, or not all, but quite a couple, few of them like ended up with me having a too high D counter. So I'm basically trying to just save everywhere just to not be in that situation.
Yeah, just save everywhere and don't use more D counter than you have to. But
it might be unnecessary.
I
want to say my D counter is quite good right now,
but yeah, you're looking pretty good.
Dine, I don't think your 2 twister strat is going to work.
It's a marathon. It's a marathon backup. I didn't realize that.
Right. I thought, yeah. I mean, if you get crits, then Sure, I guess the segmented run did that, I'm guessing.
Oh, that wasn't segmented. That was just me taking a shot in the dark to free up 0.5%.
Well, now we know.
Yeah.
And he has the +1, so yeah, that's definitely out. That's like segmented only.
Yeah. Unless we find out how to manipulate crits.
Oh man. RNG manipulation for this game would be interesting. Just get the power boost every time, get the crits every time. The game would just be solved at that point, except for you still have to deal with the random room luck. The formations that you get. But I like the random nature of this game. It's, like I said before, it's a very good randomness because it's mostly the adaptation. And there is like loose time here and there, but I just like learning all the different situations and scenarios. It's like despite only having 2 different layouts, there is a lot to learn just from one of them. Like the Duke Battler room with Lynn. There's a lot of little things you need to learn with that room if you're gonna do it optimally. It's crazy. Like I still find ways to screw that room up, but I feel like I've gotten it down.
Okay, we're getting there. I mean, a lot in this game is really just to try to min-max.
I did not know you could attack D-Gun from down there.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay, that's
Okay,
good to know.
I did that already like a couple times.
Well, the good thing is your
I
D
didn't
counter.
see them. Sorry.
The good thing is your D counter is low.
I think I'm 29 at this point usually. Like
Yeah.
Because I'm like a high roller, I guess.
You should have used party experience.
Yeah, I did that before. That's.
Oh, you did on Tantra 1.
Yeah, I don't know why I always do that. I should probably change my notes.
You save it for Tantra 2. Oh, you got at least you got all these nice boxes that. Oh, you passed them. Those boxes would have been nice. Like the yellow ones especially. Passing this turn for you.
Charge.
I was gonna say you only need to move her turn down by 1. Because now she's gonna go after Tantra, which would be bad.
Nope.
Makes sense.
Crit for the win.
I guess I should refresh.
I'm watching Jenya's on his page.
Oh, is there less flag there?
That makes sense.
Oh, yeah. You're right. I guess I'll do the same.
So, storyline after a while. Bosch is trying to get himself turned into a dragon after running away from his first fight, and then after the storage fight. So this is the first chance for us to replenish our bombs if you need to.
Nah, I still got 8. I should be fine.
Your D counter is pretty good right now, I gotta say.
You should. The limit for this area should be 33.5, 34 by the marathon notes, so you're a good 1% under.
RIP! Where's
So,
that?
and sadly, this is.
Oh, that solid guard though.
Yeah. That is sadly one of the 4 shop lists is all just defensive gear.
Yeah.
And it always sucks to see that no matter what run you do.
It's so nice when the shopkeeper says, "I've got big weapons."
Come on, big weapons.
Yeah, about those weapons, right?
I suppose shields are weapons depending who you ask. It might technically count as weapons, but I don't know.
I guess she uses her shields as weapons.
Yeah. I know Dark Souls categorizes shields as weapons, so I don't know. I guess because I don't know.
There's a funny thing you can thread a weapon on a shield called, I think it's called Explosion.
Oh, yeah!
Or if you hit you, it'll explode onto the enemy, but the shield is gone.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny if you do like a new, like a replay, and you thread that skill onto Bosch's shield. You can have Bosch lose his shield.
Wait, you can oh wait, you can, because you can thread steel onto a shield.
Yeah.
Oh man. I forgot you could actually thread his shield.
There's a little funny things you can do after.
Does he have it again during the fight, when you fight him?
He doesn't have a shield in the Bosch 2 fight or anything past that. In
Well,
Bosch 2, he's got the dragon arm.
Well, what about? I meant Bosch 1.
Bosch 1, if you attack him, the shield will explode, and then he'll have no shield for that battle.
Wait, he'll still have the explosion shield in the Bosch 1 fight if you leave it on him?
You're talking about the one when the dragon powers come out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It carries that over to the fight?
Yeah.
Oh, that is amazing. I figured you would just get like an extra, a different shield or something, like if you use up your shield. Well, now I'm curious what happens if you use up the shield before the fight. Like, will he have a new shield, or will he have no shield?
You might just go back to stock.
Yeah.
Nice slip by.
You definitely do have decounted there, so if you have to dash down here, it's alright.
That giant lizard is always sketchy to me, I don't know.
Yeah, I have this feeling that D-dash like narrows your hitbox a bit, because if I try to walk past, say, that noodle man, I don't know what they're called, those noodle men?
Yeah.
Worm men.
Okay. If you try to like slip by that worm man without D-dashing, you'll get hit, but if you D-dash, you don't even hit him. So I don't know if it's just the timing or if the hitbox gets slimmer, because you went right by that Trilizard without getting hit, and I'm pretty sure you'll get hit no matter what if you try to go by without D-dashing, so I don't know. So we're over halfway through the game now.
So the character we're going to talk to, Maybeth, that we talked to after, is one of 3, I think, 1/4 ratios in this game. And when we talk to him, he wants to try to get us to join him. So we're like, hey man, we'll kind of think about it. Let me just take a nap. And then when we take a nap, we end up getting attacked.
You don't actually get any sleep though, because you see Ryu there. He's not actually sleeping. So despite what you might think, he does not restore his health.
Yeah.
After that cutscene.
Unfortunately.
Have Nina.
Yeah, he got it. And yeah, it should be fine. As long as he charged, remember it said you charge twice this time.
Yep. God, I think all those mistakes I'm gonna do only once. In my entire, I don't know.
That's half the fun to me about learning a speed run, especially like a constricting based speed run, is a lot of the mistakes you only make once, because you're like, it's not that bad, and then once you get to the end part of the game and you're like, that one mistake was pretty bad.
I mean, I don't know. For me, I have to make a mistake multiple times before it's finally into my head that I shouldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And here's Sevru. His name is Sevru. I'm watching the wrong stream again.
So this battle's a good show off of just abusing the Dragon Power's movements, where you have unlimited movement and it doesn't cost any AP.
Yeah. And it's also the only time in the run where we do like 2D charge and we use Vortex, just because they all have like 800 HP, so but it's more cost efficient and I guess AP efficient to just use Vortex.
Yeah.
So yeah,
because you don't got enough for Vortex. Or
also, Jenny,
Blister.
Jenny, don't forget to use Party Experience for Bosch too.
Yep, this time I already had it marked. I guess I can use them right now already, right?
Yeah, I mean, whenever. I use it at one of the blue doors, the ones that open automatically, because it saves you a few frames, because the door will be fully open when you exit the menu, and you save like those 2 frames of bumping into it. It's amazing. I love it. I love saving those frames and feeling really good about it, even though it's like nothing.
Like switching the character in at the door as well?
Yeah, that's actually what I do in the beginning of the game.
Yeah, I know. I've read that somewhere.
Yeah. It was in my notes. And yeah, since you have to switch anyway, you switch in the door and you save a few frames. It's pretty great.
So after that storage battle, you end up finding out that the people that were attacking you weren't really the Ranger members, but they were Trinity members, as Maybeth was trying to get you to join his side. And after you call him out on it, he ends up giving you the key. which is the
Yeah.
key we end up using to get the sky at the end of the game. This room Jenya's in now, you have to D-dash through it
Pretty much.
just to be safe. You can escape at the door and then run through it if you just want to be a little safer. But the way those king goos just walk around, it's random. There's a chance you can get through without getting hit.
They really converge at the door there. Yeah,
If
that
you
room
go,
with
if
that
you go
room with
south,
the,
if you go south there's a Cerberus. You can try to fight for a 7th sense.
you can get that really early then.
Yeah, that's like, it's one of the earliest parts where it will save you 2% on your counter. So you start the battle with Ryu, slice till out Ryu, and then have Nina use anything but a fire ability. So
Is that a 1/4 strat, or is it just a safe strat, like or beginner
dive?
strat?
It's low dive, but it would work out fairly good for a new strat, because if your D counter was higher, it brings you down another 2%, which
And
2%
that
at any
Bosch
point in the game is huge.
You only really need to attack Bosch from behind if you have the Keltis, but you got a crit, so your damage is really good. Oh yeah, you have no weapon. Oh, you don't even have the Violet Blade ID yet.
Oh,
I do.
No,
I do,
he
I do.
hasn't equipped it.
Yeah, that was
okay.
my issue. I realized that too late when I'm gonna do that right now.
Yeah, even with the crit, the weaker weapon won't kill him outright. But luckily, you did enough damage.
So even though it's one attack, when you decharge and add the twister, it's only still 6 attack. But when you're getting to that kind of damage with a little bit of variances, the one attack pushes you just above that little bit of a threshold.
Yeah, that like whenever I get a power meal, I tend to clean kill like D-Man without a crit, and it just, if I have the Mando Blade or something, it's pretty great. That +1 becomes a +2. Or I guess
+3.
it would be more. Yeah,
Plus
+3.
+6, +3 times 2 technically.
Sure. Yeah, the 2 charge is 3 times. Yeah. So that +1 really does make a difference.
Well, then you gotta factor in Twister has a ×3 multiplier per 2 hits.
RIP!
Right. You get more shields.
More shields. I can use all the shields as weapons.
Oh my god!
That's pretty sick though.
You are so beefed up with the fence.
You got the worst. You got the worst. The 2 worst shops.
We're going Violet Blade, I guess. I got big weapons for everyone. And I told my friends that they also have big weapons.
That's actually one of the few differences between English and Japanese. This game has, the fastest text speed is instant text most of the time. We have cutscene skips anyway, so it's actually pretty negligible, but that's one of the times when you have the shaking text there, like the big weapons, it pauses on that for a second and you can't actually skip it, so that's one of the, I guess, disadvantages of the English version. However, I think the Trinity fight is shorter because Sevru, or Goofy as it were, I think his text is quicker to get through in English, but I'm not sure. So it's actually pretty negligible which version you play of this game for speedrunning. Power 1 is pretty annoying.
This danger room can be pretty difficult if you're not paying attention to the zombies as they're running around after you.
Yeah, the skeletons when you first enter the room will not always notice you at the same time, so you have to pay attention to how soon they notice you so that you can throw the meat at the right time, and then you kind of have to separate them from the Karen. Luckily, is not attracted to meat, even though it probably has more organs than a skeleton does. I don't know, but yeah, that I actually drilled that room a bit earlier. Depending on which boxes you get, you go left or right to get the Karen's attention sooner or later. It actually makes a pretty big difference. And it actually is Like, that 222 experience for Ryu isn't much, but if your experience so far was not very good, it actually can make a difference between one level for certain fights.
Okay. So I guess we're gonna be finishing this with the Violet Blade.
Oh yeah, because we got lots of shields.
Hell yeah.
Lots of big shields. Well, unfortunately, there are no more shops. Someone said next shop better have big weapons. There are no more shops.
That's
there
the
are
problem.
no more shops. Aside from at the cemetery, you can buy like the Legend Blade, but it's way too expensive. The weapons there are way too expensive. So there are no more weapons. The last chance is top sector.
There you go, new strat. Grind 2 Jacko boxes for 120,000 zennies to buy a 90,000 zenny sword.
Oh, it's 90,000. Okay. And
I think it's
the plus 9 is like 120,000 or something.
You can't. The plus 9 you can only get from the secret dungeon. I think.
Actually-
Right.
Cemetery is plus 1.
I was just curious what the price of the plus 9 was.
I don't think you can buy the plus 9.
I'm just saying in general.
Oh, add. I think it's 3% of the weapon value per plus.
I don't feel like doing that math.
I mentioned
I wasn't that curious. I was just curious if you knew offhand. Also, your level 27 is very good for this fight. That's where you
I
want to
already
be.
mentioned that this music is absolutely fantastic. I love this music.
Oh yeah,
Just saying. I have to keep saying that.
a moment of joy is. Well, I don't know what the official translation is. They have like all the if you get the auditorium in the ant colony, you can see all the names of the tracks that the official localizations.
I would like to see a crit here, I think.
Yeah, you always want to see it. It's here. It's pretty good. But with the Violet Blade, I'm not sure.
I actually also wanted to
I'm
push him
guessing-
down here, but okay, I guess it's whatever.
Hmm.
I'm gonna kill him with Nina, that's fine though.
No.
I mean, you would be fine. You would be at you would be. Honestly, you should just vortex him because you would be at 58.2.
I don't know, dude. I'm just scared. Like, I'm scared. I'm just literally scared about my like. This,
Okay.
I'm
But
just...
you have. I'd wait for Nina for turn 2.
Okay, this is.
Yeah, I will definitely wait for him to turn 2.
This was new to me when I watched him last time. I didn't even realize there was like a backup like this for this fight.
There isn't. I think he's got too high of an absolute defense.
I think
No,
we should.
I saw him kill Demon Head.
Yeah,
Like his
that's-
D counter was his D counter was way too high. I said his run is over, and he surprised me by finishing him off with Nina. Like his damage must have been perfect. It's
Hold on.
this would have been this would have been good if he hadn't cornered Demon Head though in that wedge. Yeah, if you get to 100%,
Oh, don't go.
I guess a new Ajin is born through Ryu, and he just a dragon bursts out of his body, and then it's just game over. This is the Breath of Fire game where you don't want to become a dragon. Also, he's getting punched.
That's
Oh,
fine. That's fine. I got this. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should have just used the vortex, but I don't know.
Yes, you should have. Sorry.
Yeah, this is probably the time-wise more like this more stupid thing to do, but I don't know.
It's just
Like-
yeah. When
With this, I'm just in constant fear that I will not finish the game without enough thing.
But you'll be
not gonna kill
fine
him
from this
for
point
the-
forward, Billy. Is Dragon Core really as bad as people say? It's not that bad, unless you like. It whatever. It's preference, but like if you're an avid Breath of Fire fan with the first 4 and you're coming to this game, you may not like it because not only is it just dramatically different in both tone and gameplay, but it's also it's pretty brutal. So it's really you have to go into it with the right mindset. And
Go ahead.
I mean, a lot of people didn't, so they really didn't like it. I don't really blame them for not liking it because it's a hard game to get into, and whether or not you're into Breath of Fire, which I'm not really. I really only like this game. Even I had to go into it with like a lot of determination because really I just wanted to beat it because my friend wouldn't. I don't know, like I just really wanted to just do it.
That's a good motivation, though.
Yeah, like let me see if I can do this. And I just fell in love with the game. I don't know.
The most daunting thing when you're first starting to play this is when you're walking around and the D counter starts ticking up.
Yeah.
Where it's a very minuscule amount.
Yeah.
Like, 0.01, but the more you start walking around, it starts ticking up. It's almost like adding a timer to a game.
Yeah, a lot of people call it a timer. It's not technically a timer, but it does add a bit of pressure. And like, if you're not familiar with the game, yeah, of course it's gonna rub you the wrong way. So I don't really blame people for getting put off by that. But it's honestly like the least amount of decounter you will accrue throughout this game.
I should definitely do that.
Oh! Oh no! What happened? Oh no!
That's epic. I mean,
What'd you do?
That's just epic that he just blew himself up. I mean, it's still gonna give me the 7 cents.
Oh shit! Did the flare actually hit the bombs? Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I get one. That was great.
So that is probably one of the most comical things about playing this game in general, casual, speedrun, whatever, where if enemies use a fire ability, and whatever, it's a cone or the circle, and if it encapsulates the bombs, they will end up setting off their own bombs. So
like
back in the first,
this game has a lot of little fine details like that.
I mean, to be fair, you have to be pretty damn ultra skilled to run into a piece of furniture as an enemy.
I've run into high cheese before.
Me too. And then you have to deal with the confusion orange.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Literally swag strats. Oh god. I have to practice this so much. I really like the speedrun.
We're gonna pump you up. We need to. I think we need to finally like start a wiki for this series. Is there? Like a speedrunning wiki?
Not a speedrunning. There's
yeah.
like the regular...
like a Breath of Fire wiki. That would actually be cool, I think.
Yeah, like we if we had a speedrunning wiki, I think that would be really helpful for people who want to learn the games of the series. I do need to make videos for all the danger rooms and stuff. I've made some, but if we had like one really good central source of information, it'd be great.
Let's see, 65.
But yeah, this game is very solid. Just they set out to do something different, and whether or not you like that, they honestly did a really good job with this game. Like, it's really solid, really polished. It's not a Breath of Fire game. It's maybe not even a good casual game. I'm still not sure if I consider this a good casual game or not. But they set out. I think they accomplished what they set out to do very well. If only they just had more time to like flesh out the story, because there's a lot of unanswered questions. And believe it or not, this game got like a Game of the Year edition in Japan, at least. So it was pretty well received. It's not terrible. It wasn't terribly received. Just I think a lot of vocal fans made it out to be worse than it actually is. The music is definitely great. It's definitely a great speed run.
Okay, I already hate this. Like, I don't know, sometimes he only activates one of the traps, sometimes he activates all of them at the same time. I don't understand it.
Yeah, you have to. It's really
sometimes,
tricky.
if you look at it, some parts of the G flares will overlap and some won't.
Yeah, and he hits that sweet spot.
If he runs into the part where they're all overlapping, it's okay. But if he kicks to the right a little bit where they're not overlapping, that's where you kind of get a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, and you just also have to train your eye to know when they're going to perfectly overlap or not. It's actually not like I had to mess around with it. From like your point of view, if you're looking like at this camera angle, your second one has to be just. It's weird because it's 3D. I think that's the camera angle makes it really hard to eyeball where the G flares are going to overlap. You just have to kind of practice it and get a good idea of where the G flares have to overlap. And yeah, this game is very divisive. It's very love it or hate it. I don't know.
I love it!
Yeah.
I love the game, I love the speedrun, it's fantastic.
Yeah. And the music. Yeah. And I have my own opinions of the story of this game. But I mean, it's okay. But like, I just feel like some elements could be switched around here and there to make it a little bit better. Like,
story.
Okay, I'm gonna ramble about this because I like to. So like, no, I didn't remember what I was gonna say. So there's the ambiguity of whether or not Ryu is in control or if he's just being influenced by the dragon, because his attachment to Nina is very odd because he doesn't know who she is and he's risking his life so that she can get to the surface for some clean air. No rational person is going to do that. So if they had left that ambiguity alone, it would have been interesting to just theorize whether or not he was in control the whole time. But they just spell it out for you anyway, and that just kind of makes it less interesting to me. As well as the fact that Elion basically forces the link between Dragon and Ryu. If you just removed Elion from that, it would be a more interesting like underdog story, because he has a shiny chance in hell of linking with the dragon. And I mean, as cheesy as the Chosen One thing is, it would have been more interesting than Elion just being a Deus Ex Machina and setting everything up like it's Chrono Cross. And don't even get me started on Chrono Cross, please. That's a can of worms I don't want to open.
Alright, I want to say that should be fine. Guys, like literally everyone who is like still watching, please like
please stop.
Please stop. No, but please like make sure to like follow the other people. They're like 15 billion times better than I am. Like literally, they deserve all the love.
You
this
have
game,
your
really.
D counter is very good, but your D counter is very good right now, so you'll be fine.
Should be fine.
I'm glad the person named Ryu Dragon loves Dragon Quarter. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you for living up to your name. Talk about Chrono Cross? Oh no. I mean, I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't played this. God, Chrono Cross. Oh god, what a mess. Like, oh jeez. Like, there's a lot to pick apart about Chrono Cross. There's not enough time left in this run to talk about
Okay, 3%, yeah, we should be good, right? If this kills him in 2 hits.
I think even if you vortex, you'll still be okay.
Yeah. Okay, maybe I've gotten a little bit too conservative, but I don't care.
I still don't know the full percentages of the run, just because I've only been doing it like a month on and off.
Yeah, that's
better. It's better to be conservative and then start using it up more earlier, and then trying to be like go off the bat trying to get it down to like the closest possible and then screwing yourself over.
Yeah, because the step counter might screw you over for some reason. I
Yeah.
still don't know. The game is
So
like over
it's-
30 years. 30? No, it's not 30 years old. Like 20, yeah, maybe. Which is actually
But-
the amount of time between Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross, and story-wise,
Isn't the
20 years.
Isn't the 15 years coming up in like January?
For what?
Dragon Quarter.
Is it? That's pretty cool. Oh yeah, 2002.
Yeah.
Then it
2000,
should have already.
2003 in North America.
Old. Okay, so 2002.
February 16th. Yeah, 15.
Awesome. I looked at my save files and I think it was my first Dragon Quarter file because it was 17 retries, 15 completions. I believe that was my first file that I got the 1/4 review ratio. Back in 2007. So I've done a 1/4 run since then, but it's been very long since I played this game casually.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, you have a whole extra percent to spare. You're
Yeah.
fine.
Okay, I'm also faster. That's good. Don't forget the 7/10s. Thank you. Good job, Tanya. You didn't forget it.
I would say Chrono Cross's ambiguity comes more from convoluted storytelling than just leaving questions unanswered. Like Dragon Quarter just has some things they didn't explain. Fine. Chrono Cross is a mess.
Wait, I think I could have also done 3 charges and 2 twisters, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you could have done 3 charges.
Yeah, I
2
just
twisters.
figured that out.
It's fine.
Whatever. I guess not optimized now.
Yeah.
Neither was my run. I 3-charged 2 Twister, and I still had 1% left over.
That's okay, I guess. Okay, cool.
GG. Good job, Janya.
We did it.
Skip that. Let's just quickly get this over with.
Sub 35.
Yeah.
Oh yes. That's that, and I guess the timing is one way. Whenever we could technically skip the cutscene, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, once you
Like
hit
somewhere
the
right here. I'm just gonna skip it. I'm just gonna do it right there. It
I would
should
say let us watch the cutscene that you love so much.
Yeah, dude, the cutscene is epic. How can you not love that cutscene? Right?
Let's skip it.
GG, Janya.
Thank you, man.
Congratulations,
Thank
sir.
you. Woo! Ay, ay, ay. Oh, I cannot believe that I just. Oh God, 34 hours. Like, what am I doing with my life? Really, just what am I doing?
What do you mean? You just completed 34 grateful hours.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I love the Breath of Fire series now, and I'm really grateful to have given the chance here. But oh man.
But for someone that just picked up a lot of the games like a month ago, like you did very well against people that have just solely committed to the games.
Overall, it's not too bad, I guess.
No.
Yeah, new world record. Yep, right here. He's the only one of us that got a world record here today, or in the last 2 days, rather.
Yeah, we finally did the thing. Sorry if I dragged it on for a little bit longer than anyone wanted.
I'm gonna bring down the mood again. So it's really cool how he pushes himself to 200% and like, basically just destroys himself, but then he gets revived anyway. So it's like kind of meaningless sacrifice. I like to nitpick, alright. But I love this cutscene. It's just, it kind of made like the whole journey worth it. Like just, yeah, point in the game felt really good the first time. Now do them all again in reverse.
Oh, nice. My computer is completely crashing right now.
Oh.
As you can maybe tell by the emulator
CPU
completely
detected?
crashing.
High CPU detected.
Actually, no, but
Oh,
that's
really?
weird. That's weird. So the first thing I'm gonna do actually is gonna buy a console so that this. I almost said something bad. That the stuff doesn't.
Oh wow, yeah. The cutscene is lagging really bad.
Yeah, but normally it does not. But
I guess it's because of streaming. Well, no, because you streamed before. I think your computer is just tired.
that may be true. I think my computer also wants to sleep. But regardless of that, it should go to normal in like just a tiny bit.
Yeah, I mean, and then you can at least play 3 and 4 on console as well. The next
Yeah,
time
that's
you do
usually
this.
like that. But yeah, I'm still. Actually, I wanted to ask that already. There's like, but it doesn't matter like which console you use, right? It's not like.
I mean, oh, you mean PS1 or PS2 or
No, I mean.
PS2 or Accumulator?
No, I mean which like version, stuff like that.
Oh
It's like
no,
some-
no, the language difference does not matter, and not having temp saves doesn't matter for the speedrun. So it really does not matter what version you want to run.
I feel so scrubby, dude. I hate running this on an emulator already. I just hate it. Hate it with a passion.
Hopefully you'll get a PS2 soon, and then you can play the game for real.
Yeah.
It'll feel so different to you too because you'll have full analog and no lag.
Yeah.
一休みしたら行くから
Yeah.
先に言っといてニーナ必ず行くから
But here, once again, like, please, everyone, make sure to follow also the other runners. And thank you both, Rex and Dine, for just sticking around until
Sure.
this.
I love this game.
No problem, sir.
俺たちの役割も終わりってとこだな
It's late. I need to have dinner.
It was fun to see it out to the end.
Yeah.
疲れたよ
Plus, I hope we helped you get through it a little bit better.
Yeah,
having
I mean,
someone
I
to
still
talk
have
to and
to.
that.
I have to learn a lot about Dragon Quarter, really. But as I said already, I really like the speedrun. I'm pretty sure I
一つ
can
聞かせてほしい
spend some more time with it.
俺がここまでやってきたのはそれもプログラム
Oh yeah. Oh, you're already pretty conservative. Like I said, was good, and then
It's the setup,
decide.
really.
yeah. Well, when you decide to do a couple more runs, you can start being a little more riskier here and there. It's better to be safe than scrounging at the end.
Yeah. But most importantly, like it's even if it's checked before, but the danger rooms and the setups are the meat of the game.
Yeah.
And then the rest is just the counter management. But also there is like item and money management, especially early on, if you want to save time. If you want to get the 4 bombs at the first shop, well, second shop technically, before Cyclops, you have to watch your bomb drops, how much money you got, and just you have to do some mental juggling of what you need to buy ahead of time to save the most time. Pretty fun.
I still love this cutscene.
Yeah, I do too, honestly. Speech. I think we already gave the speech.
Oh, he needs to give his speech.
Oh. Well, he needs to get back in here then. Oh, I mean, he is in here, but he's muted and deafened, so.
But yeah, I mean, I can already just thank everyone who's been watching so far. I mean, it's already been great to just see such massive support for such a lovely game series. And I mean, the fact that we have done this twice successfully now, like, pretty sure we're gonna do something like this next year again. Not necessarily that I'm that stupid guy again, but
this is supposedly one time only. So
yeah, the one time only that I've already done it twice. Rip me.
one time only for. Hello.
Hold on.
Your speech?
Whoa, PG.
Has again taken part and made this relay as awesome as it has been. As you know, if you watched it last year, or you were a part of it last year, it was only two whole teams, and Genya was part of one of those. And yeah, I mean, obviously to every single one of the runners of of Team Ryu, Team Nina, and Team Deus, and of course this gentleman over here, Team Genya, the man himself, who's managed to not just once but twice in the last. And yeah, it's been quite a journey, and obviously the time differences that you see there are not as big as they actually are, because they don't factor in the credits and all that. So there's a good while in between those. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say outside of that. And obviously you guys who have been hanging around till the very, very end, I greatly appreciate that. And I'm pretty sure Genya does as well, with all of your energy and your support all the way going through. I know that means a lot to him, and obviously to all the individual runners as well. As I said, there are a lot of new people here who maybe haven't had a platform like this, or an audience of this size. So to everyone who's kind of given this a go, and jumped in and stepped up to give it a go. It's great. I mean, the Breath of Fire 2 runners, for example, Zhujian and Andy actually learned the any percent just for this, because they ran another category. So it's kind of nice to see people really want to support and make sure these things happen. And everyone who's jumped in on commentary and all that kind of stuff. It's been a really, really good weekend, and it's kind of nuts that when like you spend so long sorting it out and then it comes and goes in the blink of an eye. But you want to hope that everyone enjoyed it. Everyone enjoyed it, and hopefully it was a weekend to remember. And maybe some of you may not have known, but Capcom have been watching. They have been watching. Members of Capcom, the official brand ambassadors around there, because obviously Breath of Fire has been a bit not neglected, let's say, but it hasn't been like active for a while. So it was kind of nice to have the people who support their games within Capcom watching and talking about it, and it's kind of and that's the point. Like, the one thing that I always want to make sure, and it's kind of something I always talk about in chat, is that we're here to talk about what's great about these things. We're here to celebrate the company and celebrate the games they make, to really show them that we love it, because really that's the way to show them, and that's the really and if you want to see more, it's the kind of best way to do it. Not everyone's perfect, but they know that fans like us are out there, and they know that fans like us are doing our best to show that we love them. So everyone who's been watching and has been part of that, you've been part of that. So thank you very much indeed. That's it on my side. If anyone here who's currently in chat has a final few words to say, then I guess we can wrap things up here and say goodnight.
Breath of Fire 5 was a good game.
Just want to say thank you to everyone that stuck around to especially support Jenya after the relay ended, and just when I was looking at the Twitch page and I seen all the viewers, and then we got posted on the front of Twitch, that felt pretty good, just to see how much it grown since last year. And having 3 teams and the way it worked out, everything, there was a couple of points where the race varied, but there was also a lot of tight points. Like, I didn't think 30 hours into the relay that David and I would have started a couple of seconds from each other. So, Bowie, you did an excellent job on balancing, and it's just nice to have the teams and the support from everyone watching, because without you guys, it wouldn't mean nearly as much. So I just want to say thank you to everyone for that.
100% agree.
Well, thank you. It's been a fun one, but as they say, all good things have to eventually come to an end.
Until next year.
Till next year, we'll have 8 teams, and the feed will be tiny. No, we'll see what we can do for next year. I'd definitely like to bring it back, obviously. But until next year, when we come around to that, we'll have to see. So all we can do until then is keep playing. So
GG.
Indeed. Right, everyone, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for watching. Runners, Rex, Jenya, Dine, thank you for doing a great job on that last run. Thank you very, very much for watching, guys, and from all of us here at the Breath of Fire community, thank you. And
thank you.
You're all brave men of the dragon.